Sergeant, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yes.
That's your privilege. After all, you don't know whether the question I'm going to ask is that important or not, so I respect your decision.
All right, Pyle. What is the question?
Well, if you'd rather I didn't ask it, Sergeant, why, I just...
Pyle, what's the question?
Well, I was just going to ask how long we was going to be here for kind of a personal reason.
Just what is the personal reason?
Well, you see, I got this rock in my shoe, and on the way over here, I figured it'd take me about a minute to get it out, so if we wasn't going to be here that long, I couldn't.
Pyle, don't you know you're standing at ease, which means you'll keep one foot in place?
Yes, sir. I can stand on one foot and raise the other one up like this, and that's the reason it'll take me at least a minute. I got real good at this back home by watching whooping cranes. They can stand like this all day.
Pyle, I don't know how long we're going to be here. They didn't tell me. But for right now, you sit down on the deck, take the stone out of your shoe, put your shoe back on, get up, then stand there like a Marine and not like a whooping crane.
Yes, sir, Sergeant, and thank you.
Come in.
Sergeant Carter reporting as auditor.
At ease, Sergeant. Your detail outside?
8 men from my platoon, yes, sir.
Sergeant, you and your men are pulling guard duty tonight at Warehouse 12. Your ammo will be issued here.
Guard duty, sir?
Guard duty. You weren't notified in advance because we're invoking security precautions. A gang has been working our warehouses almost every night. Did you know that, Sergeant?
No, sir.
They never used the same method twice. They've taken electronic gear, other equipment worth thousands. Now, just in case they have a man inside the base, we don't want them to know who our guard detail will be.
Yes, sir.
You have good men, Sergeant?
With me since boot camp, sir.
They've got your stamp on them, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good. The CID is working on this, but in the Corps, we count on the man in the field.
You'll be officer of the day, sir?
Right. And I don't mind telling you, Sergeant, that the ones who pull in this gang will be up for a commendation.
Yes, sir. You can count on us, sir.
On the other hand, some goofball on guard duty should let those crooks get away with any more government property. Very unpleasant things will happen. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. It's very clear, sir. Yes, sir.
I can't emphasize strongly enough the importance of the whole operation. Now, I would assume that the most important guard posts would be 4, 5, and 6. Sergeant?
Yes, sir. 4, 5, and 6.
But since we have no previous pattern of operation for this gang, it's vital that every man on every post be on his toes from the minute he's assigned to the minute he's relieved. If we keep that in mind, I think we're home free.
What's your 7th general order?
My 7th general order is to talk to no one except in line of duty.
Your 4th general order?
My 4th general order is to report all calls more distant from the guardhouse than my own.
Your 9th general order?
Well,
Pyle, do you not know your 9th general order?
Oh, yes, Sergeant. I even know that one backwards. My 9th general order is to call the corporal of the guard in any case not covered by instructions.
Okay.
Now you want to hear it backwards? Instructions not covered, not...
Knock it off!
Anyway, I'm to call the corporal of the guard. Do you want to hear how I call him? Corporal of the guard, post number 4. I've got post number 4. If I've got post number 3, I say, Corporal of the guard.
Knock it off! Pyle, there will be no corporal of the guard. There will be a sergeant of the guard, and I will be that sergeant.
Wonderful.
Pyle, I will be checking on you every minute you're walking your post.
Well, that's real friendly of you, Sergeant.
That's not being friendly.
Well, sure it is. It gets mighty lonesome out there walking back and forth all hours of the night.
Your general orders do not take into account you're getting lonesome.
Scary, too.
Pyle, you're not a Cub Scout going on an overnight hike. You are a Marine.
And that's all due to you, too, Sergeant.
All right, you people, listen up, and listen good. You are going to be on your toes tonight because a gang of thieves has been making off with Marine property, and they may keep right on trying. So challenge everyone. No matter what they tell you, don't believe it. Call me and keep them there until I come. Is that clear?
Yes, Sergeant.
All right, now, we're going to be guarding Warehouse 12. That's a natural target, electronic equipment. Now, we don't know how this bunch operates because they never do the same thing twice. So anything suspicious, and I want to hear it from you. Anything you see, hear, smell, and cannot identify, and I want to hear it from you. Now, what do I want to hear?
Sergeant of the Guard!
Again. Sergeant of the Guard! I can't hear you! Sergeant of the Guard! Sergeant of the Guard! Sergeant of the Guard!
Oh, who's there?
Gomer, that's 5 times you've challenged me just because I'm walking the next post.
Sergeant Carter said to challenge everybody.
But I told you I'm just walking the next post.
Sergeant Carter said not to believe anything they told you.
Oh, boy. So if I tell you I'm walking the next post, you shouldn't believe me?
Tried.
Even if I tell you my name, you shouldn't believe me.
Maybe you ought not tell me. Duke, I know it's you. It's just that I've got to keep on practicing that challenge.
You're really playing cops and robbers, aren't you? Look, nothing's going to happen. Who's going to try and break into a warehouse with guards all around?
I don't know, but I'm always keeping on the alert.
Yeah, sure.
That bunch is clever, and I ain't gonna let them outsmart me. I got good eyesight and a loud voice, so anything that I see, I'm gonna yell for Sergeant Carter.
You do that. You going to challenge me the next time we meet here?
Am I?
Oh, brother.
Oh, who's there? Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5.
Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Well, what is it, Pyle? What is it? What did you see?
I don't rightly know. Something moved over that way that I couldn't identify, and my instructions was anything that I see that I couldn't
over
identify.
there?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Pyle, don't you know a cat when you see one?
Oh, yes, sir. I can tell a cat real good. Trouble is, I didn't see this cat. I just heard a sound. Why, it could have been them robbers making cat noises.
Pyle.
Back home, we had this cat burglar, and he used to crawl into people's houses and go, meow, meow.
Pyle!
Anyways, my instructions were...
I know what your instructions were, and I didn't say anything about cats. Carry on.
Yes, sir, Sergeant. Don't you worry. I'm keeping always on the alert. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5.
Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5.
What is it, Pyle? What is it?
I don't rightly know, Sergeant.
What do you mean you don't know? It's not another cat, is it?
It's more like a rabbit, I think.
A rabbit?
Never did see it, but it give off kind of a hippity-hop sound.
You mean you're standing out here in the middle of the night yelling over a rabbit?
Well, I didn't want that gang of thieves to outsmart me by making rabbit noises and tricking me into thinking that they was funny rabbits, so I didn't think it all. I just called you.
Pyle, if a gang of bunny rabbits is robbing this warehouse, I do not want to hear about it. And that goes for cats and mice and chipmunks. They're not my problem. When you see something walking on 2 legs, then I want to hear about it. Until then, I don't want to hear another word. Is that clear?
That's clear enough, Sergeant.
Fine.
Rabbits and cats and mice, they ain't too bad, but chipmunks, now they can be real distracting.
Knock it off! Get back on your post.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5.
Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the Guard, post number 5.
Not you again, Pyle.
But I really seen something this time, Sergeant, with 2 legs, too.
Where?
Over there against the warehouse, moving around. Hey, now there's 2 of them.
Do you know what that is, Pyle? Do you? It's your shadow. It's your shadow. Now get back on your post.
Golly, it's funny how that fooled me. I'm sorry, Sergeant.
Pyle, what are you doing?
Making a giraffe? Don't that look just like a giraffe?
I've already seen a jackass, and if I hear one more word out of you tonight, you'll be a dead duck. Now get back on your post.
Yes, sir. Just turn around real slow like.
Well, good work, Sentry. I didn't even hear you coming.
You better put up your hands, too.
I'm Johnson, Criminal Investigation Department. My identification's in my pocket.
Yes, sir, that very well may be the case.
Aren't you going to let me show it to you?
No, sir.
Why not?
Orders from my sergeant. Sergeant Carter, He told me if anybody told me anything, not to believe him. So I'll just hold you here till he comes.
That's good practice. Very good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Aren't you going to call him?
No, sir. I got orders from my sergeant not to.
What kind of an order is that?
Oh, he's right. See, I called him out for a rabbit and a cat and a shatter. After that, he just didn't want to hear from me.
What are we supposed to do, stand here all night?
Well, he didn't give me no orders about that, so I guess that's what we'll do.
Look, Private.
Private Gomer Pyle, sir.
Look, Pyle, even if you won't look at my identification, what do you think I am?
Oh, I got strict orders not to think, 'cause if you was a member of that warehouse gang, why, you could outthink me real easy. So the smart thing for me to do is just to make my mind a blank.
You don't have any trouble there.
Now, sir, that comes real easy.
Private, how would it be if I called the sergeant of the guard?
Now, that's a real good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Your mind's a blank. Sergeant of... You're like a fool. Sergeant of the guard, post... What post is this?
Post number 5.
Sergeant of the guard, post number 5. Sergeant of the guard, post number 5.
Sergeant of the guard, post number 5.
Be sure and tell him it was you that called when he gets here. He'd get mighty irritated if he knew it was me.
I'll tell him, all right. Sergeant of the guard!
He may not come. Maybe you should have said post number 4.
Why?
On account of he said he wasn't coming back to post number 5 anymore.
Well, did I tell you that...
Who's that?
Well, he says he's a CID man, Sergeant.
I've got my identification in my pocket, Sergeant.
Well, didn't you check it?
No, sir, you told me not to believe anything anybody told me.
Sorry, sir.
Can I take my hands down now? After 10 minutes, the circulation cuts off.
Of course, sir. Why didn't you call me sooner?
Well, you said not to,
Well,
Sergeant.
never mind what I said. Use your head.
That's just what you warned me again, Sergeant.
He didn't call you at all, Carter. I had to.
Why didn't you call me? What kind of a knucklehead thing is that?
Did you give orders to this man not to call you, Carter?
Oh, well, in a way I did, sir.
What kind of a knucklehead order is that?
Well, it's a kind of a knucklehead kind of order, sir.
You are right. It will be reported as such.
Yes, sir.
Sentry, Captain.
Halt! Who is there?
Captain Stanfield, Private. Here's my warehouse requisition.
All personnel. Expedite.
Rush shipment.
Well, I don't know much about requisition, but this sure looks like a good one.
Good. I'd appreciate it very much if you help my men load.
Be glad to, sir.
So far, so good, Jojo.
Don't call me Jojo. I'm a captain now.
Congratulations, Captain.
Get in there and help them load. Maybe you'll make PFC.
I could use the money.
Hey, remember, if the CID shows up, no shooting. First sign of trouble, I whistle, we cut out.
You think that's in the finest tradition of the Marine Corps?
Get in there and help that stupid sentry load, will you?
Aye, aye, Captain.
What is this? Why aren't you walking your post?
Well, it said all personnel to expedite, and I'm personnel.
What are you talking about? I didn't hear nothing about a loading requisition. Who was this, anyway?
Well, there's this captain with this requisition. It says to expedite, so I'm expediting, and it said to rush, so I'm rushing.
What are you talking about? Who was this captain? Pyle, what is this? What do you mean you're expediting?
Just that, Sergeant. This captain come along and told me to expedite.
Captain? What captain? Did it occur to you to ask questions?
Well, yeah, there was one question I was going to ask him, so I'll ask you.
Huh?
What does expedite mean?
It means doing what you're doing right now instead of walking guard duty. Pyle, why didn't you call me?
Well, you're going to think this is silly.
I'm sure of it.
I just didn't want to be a burden to you anymore.
What?
Well, every time the least little bitty thing happened, I was yelling, Sergeant of the Guard, Sergeant of the Guard. And you's probably thinking, Lord, that boy can't even stand on his own 2 feet. And you do want me to stand on my own 2 feet.
Pyle!
Forget the rest of the stuff. The CID jeep is due by here any minute. Makes the rounds every hour. Let's close the truck gates and get out of here.
Right. Where is this captain? I want to talk to him.
Well, he was...
Shots!
Sure sounded like it.
Pyle, do you realize what's happening?
We accidentally got ourselves locked in the back of his trucks while they spotted that gang of crooks somewhere else.
They're shooting at us!
That's all right, Sergeant. We're shooting back.
Pyle, you're not going to hit those people up in front of crooks.
I thought they was Marines.
They're not Marines. That's a gang we've been after. I knew it. I knew you'd get yourself taken.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but they had on Marine uniforms and they had this requisition that said to expedite. They tricked me.
All right. They don't seem to know we're back here.
You think we ought to let them know?
We don't want them to know. Now, look, here's what we'll do. They got to be getting back to their hideout any minute. And when they do, where's your rifle?
Golly, I left it leaning up against the wall.
That's a great place for it.
Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I couldn't carry my rifle and expedite all at the same time.
All right, listen up. Now, the odds are against us, so follow orders exactly.
I'm listening as hard as I can.
Now, we got to figure out a way to get them in the back of this truck.
Get them back here?
That's right. The only thing that'll work is a trap. There are 3 of them and 2 of us, and all we got is a pistol and no rifle. As soon as we get them trapped back here, then we'll drive them back to the base.
Well, how are we gonna do that?
Well, as soon as we stop, I'll get on the left side of the door, and you... Hold on!
Sergeant? Sergeant? Sergeant Carter, I think we're here.
Okay, let's get this thing unloaded.
Hey! Bet y'all didn't know I was in here.
Come on, get down out of there.
Did you see him in that truck before you slammed the doors?
Who had time to look? What are we gonna do with him?
Guess you wouldn't want to drive me back to the base. I could catch a bus. About out of suggestions.
Well, don't you worry. We'll think of something. You guys get in there and unload. I'll keep an eye on it.
Oh, I'll unload it for you. After all, I loaded it up.
All right, go ahead, unload.
Glad to help out. Sergeant. Sergeant, sure would be helpful if you'd wake up. Sergeant, would you mind greatly if I took your gun?
Hey, who you talking to in there?
What? I was talking to my sergeant, and he's hurt.
Are you kidding us?
No, y'all better come in here and help me carry him out. He's hurt bad.
Go ahead, take a look. I'll keep an eye on him.
All right, watch out.
If this is some sort of a gag.
Hey, there is somebody in here. And it's a sergeant.
What?
Yeah, and he's out cold.
Appreciate it if you get in there. You see, this is a trap.
What are you guys doing here?
Private Pyle reporting, sir.
Where have you been, Pyle? What happened? Where's Sergeant Carter?
He's in the truck with the warehouse gang.
He captured them?
Yes, sir. It was a trap. Wait till you hear.
Great work. Open up the truck. Cover the men. All right, come on down there with your hands up. High. Where's Sergeant Carter? Sergeant?
Sergeant Carter?
Good work, Sergeant. I said good work. I don't know how you managed it, but you did a great job.
Turned out just like you planned, Sergeant Carter. It was Sergeant Carter's idea to trap the crooks in the back of the truck. It turned out just that way. I think we ought to hear it for the sergeant.
That's not all. There'll be that commendation I mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Good going, Sergeant. And you got a good man here with you. All right, get him inside.
Yes, sir. I got a good man here.
Now, for you men relatively new in the Corps, there's a lesson in what happened last night. Sergeant Carter here has had 14 years as a Marine, 14 years of training, conditioning. He probably could have fought those men for their weapons and engaged in a bloody gun battle, but he elected to pursue a sensible approach and bring in the thieves without firing a shot. His trapping of the gang in the back of that truck was a masterpiece of strategy. Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Once again, well done. Now dismiss your men.
Aye, sir. Detail, take, head! There's head! Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant. You want to tell me something?
No, I want you to tell me something.
Huh?
Tell me what happened. Start at the beginning, don't leave anything out.
Or big movie star says she'll show up and then she doesn't? What's so terrible?
You know what it shows on your part? It shows the lack of faith on your part.
Gomer's a little prejudiced, fellas. You'll have to excuse him.
Gloria Morgan does happen to be my all-time favorite, that's right.
Oh, you got a thing about Gloria Morgan, have you, Gomer? Huh?
I don't exactly know what that means, Duke, but the lady is my favorite actress, and I don't appreciate talking loose-like about her around the men's barracks.
Okay. So when she shows up for the dance tonight, if she does show up, why don't you ask her to dance with you?
Huh?
Ask her to dance. Your favorite movie actress, you'll be able to hold her in your arms and dance.
Don't appreciate you talking about her like that.
Who are you taking to the dance anyway, Gomer?
Just me, myself. I do plan on doing a whole lot of staring at Miss Morgan, though.
That sounds pretty exciting, all right.
Just hope it don't make her too edgy. You know, a lot of folks get real edgy after you stare at them a long time.
Well, if she just gets edgy, you walk right up to her, put your arms around her.
I don't appreciate talk like that about her, do you?
Okay, Pyle, what did you do this time?
About what, Sergeant?
You're wanted in the colonel's office.
The colonel? He wants me?
Well, he asked specifically for you. There's only one Gomer Pyle. I don't think the world is ready for another Gomer Pyle.
I wonder what the colonel wants.
Well, there's only one way to find out, Pyle. Get over there on the double.
He didn't tell you what...
Move it!
Private Pyle reporting his orders, sir.
At ease, Pyle.
Thank you, sir.
Pyle, do you remember that enlisted man's dance a few months ago? The one you took my daughter Jane to?
Yes, sir. I remember. And I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry? She had a very nice time.
She did? Well, I did, too. I really, truly did. Not only is Miss Jane real nice, but she's a real good dancer, too. Do you know she didn't even stumble once that whole evening?
Yes. Well, Jane's home again. Has a little time off from school. And I was wondering if you'd care to take her to this evening's dance.
Yes, sir. I sure would, sir. I'd consider that a real honor.
Fine. You can pick her up a little after 8. I'll authorize a Jeep for your use.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Carry on, Pyle.
Sir?
Yes, Pyle?
When I bring Miss Jane home, I'll be real careful not to squeal brakes, just in case you and the missus decide to turn in early.
Thank you, Pyle. That's very thoughtful.
And that ain't all, Duke. Her daddy said I could even use the Jeep to take Miss Jane to the dance.
No two ways about it, Gomer. You're becoming quite a ladies' man. And with the Colonel's daughter.
Oh, go on, Duke. But we did hit it off kind of good that first date.
Hey, Gomer, do me a favor.
Sure, Duke. What?
Invite me over to your house for dinner after you get married so I can hobnob with you and all the other brass. Won't do me any harm to show I'm buddy-buddy with the Colonel's son-in-law.
Oh, Duke. I think you're just...
Guess what? They're bringing Gloria Morgan to the barracks. She's headed this way.
You're kidding.
Go on. They wouldn't do that. Women ain't allowed in Marines barracks.
I just saw her outside. Come on.
Let's get this place squared away. They're bringing a civilian visitor through any minute.
Then it's true, Sergeant? Gloria Morgan's coming through this very barracks? The Gloria Morgan?
That's right. She arrived a little early, so she's being shown around the base. Did we catch you unawares?
Shazam! I'm so excited. Just feeling my heart, Sergeant. It's going ka-thump, thump.
Pyle!
I'm so nervous. How'll I act when she gets here?
What do you mean, how you act? You just stand there at attention and don't talk.
Talk? Well, if she looks at me, I'll just die. I'll just die.
Good. I'll see what can be arranged.
Here they come.
All right, knock it off, knock it off. Get back to your bunks. Take hut!
Hello, boys. Hello. Hello.
The living quarters are pretty much alike in all the huts. Bunks, lockers.
Why do you mean to tell me that they keep everything they own in these little lockers?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Just about everything they need.
Well, now, whose locker is this?
Well, whose locker is this?
It's Private Pyle's locker, sir. Isn't it, Pyle?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sergeant. I mean, sir.
Well, now, I just bet you put those pictures up there when you heard I was coming, didn't you? Very sweet, though.
No, ma'am. Across my heart, I didn't. They've been stuck up there almost ever since I've been here, honest.
Really? Well, I'm very flattered.
Not only that, but I've seen all your movies, too. There was Doomsday at Toronto, It Happens Every Payday, Lost Lovers Forever, Dinner with Diana, I Love You, I Love You, I Love You. I've seen that one 3 times. Lady Be Bad, and Faithful Till Tomorrow.
My goodness, what a memory you have. You know, I did some of those pictures so long ago, I didn't even remember them myself. Oh, that's very sweet. Say, would you like me to autograph that picture for you?
Golly. Would you, ma'am?
Oh, I'd love to. Does anybody have that?
Fountain pen, is that what you want?
Now, what's your name?
Pyle. Gomer Pyle. Gomer like Homer except with a G, and Pyle like Pyle except with a Y. Are you going to make that other picture, ma'am? The one with you and Mr. Hudson together on that island with the overactive volcano?
How'd you know about that?
Well, you being my favorite female movie star and all, I not only see all your pictures, but I read all I can about you, too.
You know, I think you know more about me than my agent does.
Well, thank you kindly for your autograph, ma'am.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
I've seen a lot of your pictures, too, Miss Morgan.
Really? How nice. Well, goodbye, boys. Bye. Bye, Homer.
Gomer. Bye, ma'am. It's sure a pleasure talking to you.
Bye.
If she looks at me, I'll die. I'll just die.
Gloria Morgan. She wrote it in her own hand on my very locker.
Well, I can see it already in Hedda Hopper's column. What well-known movie actress and what Marine private are past the hand-holding stage and rumored to be altar-bound?
Oh, stop that, Nick.
Gomer, I'm just looking into the future, and I see you and Gloria off on an island with an overactive volcano. And there...
Hey, movie fan.
Me, Sergeant?
You. It's your turn to clean up the duty hut.
Yes, sir.
And Smith and Sullivan, you police up in front of this hut.
Hey, Sergeant, you see what Gloria Morgan wrote on my picture?
I saw it.
Sincerely, Gloria Morgan.
Swell. Move it, Pyle.
And if she wrote sincerely, she meant sincerely on account of she's a sincere person. Did you see her in Faithful Till Tomorrow? She was so sincere.
Pyle, did you hear me? On the double.
Yes, sir. Sincerely. She wrote sincerely on her.
You know something, men? I think Gloria Morgan really got to Gomer. Hey, you guys want to have some fun?
What's up? Sure.
We're going to make a little phone call. Come on.
Sergeant Carter's quarters.
Let me talk to Sergeant Carter.
Well, he ain't here right now. Can I take a message?
Well, I'm trying to get in touch with the Private Gomer Pyle.
Oh? Well, this here's Gomer Pyle talking.
Hold on a minute, Private.
Hello, Gomer. This is Gloria.
Gloria?
Gloria Morgan. Have you forgotten already?
Shazam. Hey, Miss Morgan. Excuse me for not recognizing your voice, but you sure sound different.
I do? That must be because this is my telephone voice. Listen, I was wondering, how would you like to escort me to the enlisted men's dance tonight?
Me? Are you sure you mean me, Miss Morgan?
Oh, I'm very sure, Gomer. Say you will.
Golly. What an honor. What a real honor.
It's all settled then. You can pick me up at the guest quarters at the Officers Club tonight at 8 o'clock. Toodaloo.
She called me Gomer.
What?
Sergeant, you'll never believe this. You really won't. But that was Miss Morgan, Miss Gloria Morgan. She called up and asked especially for me.
You're right, Pyle. I don't believe it.
See, I told you wouldn't believe it, but she did. She called on that very phone there and wanted to know if I'd take her to that enlisted man's dance tonight. And I told her, oh, Lordy, I clean forgot. I'm supposed to take the colonel's daughter to that dance tonight.
Well, aren't we, Mr. Popular? That's what you get for not checking in your date book, Pyle.
But this is serious, Sergeant. What an embarrassing predicament. How can I make such a dumb mistake? What'll I do?
Pyle, don't bother me.
But this is serious, Sergeant. I can't take both those girls to that dance. What'll I do? Please tell me.
Well, it's simple, really. You just call up both gals and you tell them you're sorry, you can't take them to the dance because you won't be able to dance tonight.
Huh? Why won't I be able to dance?
I forgot to tell you. Before you call, you shoot yourself in the leg.
Gome, what's the matter? You look awful.
Oh, I got myself a terrible problem, Duke. Just terrible.
Well, what is it, pal?
Well, Miss Morgan called, Miss Gloria Morgan, and she wanted to know if I'd escort her to the dance tonight. And naturally, I said yes, but I clean forgot. I'm supposed to take the colonel's daughter.
Oh, that is a problem.
Well, what am I going to do, Duke? If I back out on Miss Jane, well, that'll hurt her feelings. And if I back out on... Oh, I got myself into real trouble this time. I feel awful, just awful.
Gomer?
Yes, sirree. Real honest-to-goodness trouble.
Look, Gomer, hold it. Before you blow a gasket, I got some news for you. You don't have a date with Gloria Morgan.
Well, sure I do. Miss Morgan herself called me on the phone.
That wasn't Gloria Morgan that called you.
Huh?
It was me, playing a little joke.
I don't believe it.
You don't?
Hello, Gomer. This is Gloria Morgan, you silly boy.
I'm surprised at you, Duke. That's really a cruel thing to do to a person. It really, truly is.
It's just a little joke, Gome.
But it's still a mean thing to do.
I guess it was kind of a cruel trick at that. I'm sorry. Shake, pal?
Okay, good buddy. Then I really don't have to take Miss Morgan to that dance tonight.
You sure don't. You got a date to take me.
And you'd like your escort to be one of the men here on the base, a private?
Yes, if I may.
Fine. And very appropriate, I might add, since it is an enlisted men's dance. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get home. My daughter just arrived from college for a few days, and I must tell her that she, too, has an escort for tonight's dance. Captain, help Miss Morgan locate the Marine in question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Miss Morgan. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly.
Well, now, just what is the name of the private you'd like as your escort for the dance tonight?
Oh, now let me see. It was a strange name. Homer? No. Gomer like Homer, except with a G. Pyle like Pyle, except with a Y. Gomer Pyle.
Sergeant Carter here. Yes, sir. Private Pyle, sir? I'll get him for you right away. He's in the area. Hey, Pyle! Get over here. You want on the phone? He'll be right in, sir. Yes, sir.
Phone for me, Sergeant?
It's the captain.
Are they doing that again?
They doing what again?
Oh, they acted out this mean trick. I told them it was a cruel joke, and I'll tell them again. Hey, Duke, I'm surprised that you pulling another fake call like this after admitting just a few minutes ago that it was a mean, cruel trick to do.
Give me that. Listen, Slater, any more practical jokes and I'll have you doing push-ups from now till Groundhog's Day. Now you get back to your barracks, you knucklehead.
I don't know what you're babbling about, Sergeant, but I have Miss Morgan here. Now put Private Pyle on the phone or I'll have you doing push-ups.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It was all a misunderstanding. Right away, sir. It's her. It's really her. Well, take it. Take it.
Hello?
Hello, Gomer. Is that you?
Hey, Miss Morgan. Is it really you this time?
I assure you it is. Gomer, I understand that it's customary for a Marine to escort the guest of honor to the dance, and, well, I've made my choice. It's you. Will you take me?
Me? You mean it? You really mean it? Well, I'd be honored to, ma'am. 8 o'clock at the administration building. Bye, and thanks, ma'am. Well, what do you know? I really am going to escort Miss Morgan to that dance tonight. That was her, and she just said... Lordy, I've done it again. I got myself 2 days for that dance tonight is what I done again, and I really done it this time. Golly, Sergeant, what am I going to do?
Well, you could claim you're an amnesia victim and don't remember anything, or you could desert. They don't hold dances at Leavenworth. Or you could shoot yourself in the leg. I still think that's the best way.
You didn't even let me finish my makeup. Are we late?
I just want to get to the dance. Well, here we are, ma'am.
Gomer, why do you keep looking at your watch?
Oh, I guess it's because that the Marines do everything by the clock, ma'am. Shall we dine?
Well, I thought first we should take a walk.
Thank you, ma'am. Won't you sit there and rest a while now?
Oh, but I'm not tired.
Well, I just go over here and get...
Good evening. May I?
Well,
sure you can, sir. You two enjoy yourselves, and I'll be right back.
She didn't even stop to say hello.
Oh, hello, Miss Jane. Well, let's go.
Well, now then, Gomer, tell me,
How's everything been?
Fine.
The place sure looks nice, doesn't it, Gomer?
Sure does.
Oh, look, there's Gloria Morgan.
Where?
Over there. I'd love to meet her, wouldn't you, Gomer?
Huh? Oh, sure. Excuse me, ma'am. I'll go get us some punch.
Oh, but Gomer, I really did.
Hey, Miss Gloria, I'm back. Did you enjoy dancing with Captain Murdoch?
Oh, yes, I had several dances with Captain Murdoch.
Captain Murdoch's a real good dancer. I thought you'd enjoy dancing with him.
Yes, I did, but now I'd like to finish our dance. Would you excuse us, please? Gomer?
Yes, ma'am.
Gomer, that girl you've been dancing with, is she your girl?
What girl?
The one you've been dancing with.
Well, what makes you think that?
Well, she hasn't taken her eyes off you.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'll get us some punch.
But Gomer,
Here's our punch, Miss Jane.
Thank you, Gomer. I see you were dancing with the guest of honor.
Yes, ma'am. I figured that's the least I could do with her sitting along the wall like a wallflower and all.
That was very thoughtful of you, Gomer. She's very pretty, isn't she?
I guess her features do go together in kind of an interesting way at that. I'll get us some punch.
Gomer, we have punch.
Yeah. Mine's all gone. You mind if I get me some more?
By all means, Gomer, do go get some more punch.
I guess the night air's made me kind of thirsty at that.
Well, don't bother.
Here I am again, ma'am.
where's our punch, Gomer?
Oh, well, I'm...
Gomer! Look, Gomer, if you have another date, I don't want to
interfere. Oh, you're not. Excuse me, ma'am. Miss Jane, I got us some more punch.
Gomer, I don't want any more punch. Aren't we going to dance anymore?
Yes, ma'am, right now. Well, what do you know? The music stopped.
Miss Morgan?
Oh, won't you sit down, Captain?
Thank you. Well, are you enjoying the dance?
Oh, yes, very much.
Good. Where's your escort?
My escort? I'm afraid I've been abandoned.
You've been what?
I'm afraid Private Pyle has another date.
Will you excuse me for just a moment? I'll be right back.
Oh, Captain, please don't say...
Pyle?
Excuse me, Captain. Would you please? Thank you, sir. Where you going, Miss Jane?
I'm going home, Gomer.
Oh, but you can't do that. The dance is hardly
Gomer,
started.
if you don't mind, I'd like to leave.
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but if you'll just let me explain...
I made a point of telling Daddy that I'd like only you to take me to the dance. I just feel very foolish.
Well, I'm sorry. I really did want to take you, and then...
Gomer, it's all perfectly obvious. Good night.
Well, it may be perfectly obvious to you, but it ain't the truth. If you'll just wait here just a minute, I can explain the whole thing. Will you please, Miss Jane?
Well, all right, Gomer. But I won't wait long.
All right. Now, you just wait right there. I'll be right back, honest. Just wait right there. Miss Jane? Miss Jane, this is Miss Morgan. Miss Morgan, this is Miss Jane, Colonel Gray's daughter.
How do you do?
Hello.
I know both you ladies are mad at me, and I'm sorry, But truly, I didn't know what else to do. You see, Miss Jane, when your daddy asked me if I'd like to take you to the dance, I was real happy to. And then Miss Morgan called me and asked me the first same thing, and my brain sort of froze and my big mouth took over and found myself with 2 dates. Now, I know what I should have done, but I was afraid I might hurt one of you's feelings, and I couldn't do that with you being my favorite movie lady, Miss Morgan, and you being my favorite in the flesh lady, Miss Jane. I just hope you 2 ladies can find it in your heart to forgive me. Miss Morgan? Miss Jane? Damn! I declare. Hey, Sergeant. Dancing sure is good exercise for you, Miss Jane.
The way you do it, it certainly is, Gomer.
I sure am glad that you and Miss Morgan ain't mad at me no more.
You know something, Gomer? I think you should take 2 dates to every dance you go to. Then one partner can rest up while you dance with the other one for a while.
That sure is something to think about. I know one thing for sure, though. If it ever happens again, I'm going to be sure and tell both parties beforehand. Hurry up. How long did it take you to get them?
14 years. About as long as it's taking you to clean this room.
Is that what you wanted to be ever since you was a little boy, Sergeant? A sergeant?
No, I wanted to be president, but they don't get to wear a uniform, so I settled for sergeant.
It's kind of a shame you didn't go into politics at that. You're friendly, you're honest, you're clever.
Knock it off!
Got a good speaking voice.
Do your work. I'll be right back.
Duty Hut, 2nd Platoon, Private Pyle speaking. No, sir, I'm just as sorry as I can be, but he just stepped out. Could I tell him who's calling? Lieutenant Peterson. Yes, sir. He just stepped out just for a minute. Be glad to, sir. None of the platoon is to go on liberty. Special assignment. Hey, could you hold on just a tiny bit, sir, while I find a pencil to write this down with? Sir? Sergeant Carter's report to the colonel's office on the double. Well, if you can wait just a half a second while I write this... Hello? Hello? None of the platoon is to go on liberty, special assignment, colonel's office on double. None of the platoon is to go on liberty, special assignment, colonel's office on double. None of the platoon is to go on liberty, special assignment, colonel's office on double. None of the platoon is to go on liberty, special assignment.
Pyle!
Special...
Clear out of here. I want to catch the first Liberty bus into town.
On the double. There. I just had to write things down. It's easy to forget, and your mind can play tricks on you. Of course, with you, it's probably different. With your training, 14 years and all, you can remember real good. But I still have to write things down. Otherwise, I forget it right the next minute.
Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant.
Will you get out of here?
I'm on my way now, Sergeant. I done what you told me to. I minded the phones. Of course, you was gone such a short time, and there was only the one call.
Yeah, what was it?
Oh, I got it all wrote down here for you. Only thing was, I couldn't remember where to spell Lieutenant Peterson's name with an S-E-N or an S-O-N.
Whoa. Peterson, Lieutenant Peterson, what was that about Lieutenant Peterson?
Oh, well, it was just that I didn't know how to spell his name, S-E-N or S-O-N. I put down S-E-N. What's the matter, Sergeant? Was it supposed to be S-O-N?
Did he call here, Lieutenant Peterson? What did he want? What was the message?
Well, it's all wrote down over here.
Huh? You give me that. Who can read this?
Let me see. Some of the platoon... No, that's none of the platoon is Taga. Taga?
What's a Taga?
Oh, that's to go. That's funny. I thought that said...
What else? What else?
None of the platoon is to go on. What's that word right there?
How do I know? You wrote it.
Oh, I got it. None of the platoon is to go on liberty. Special assignment, and you're to report to the colonel's office on the bubble.
Double.
That's it. That's the message. You never did tell me, Sergeant. Was it S-E-N or S-O-N?
Will you get out of here?
That's the situation, Sergeant. There are a lot of men ashore from the Fleet Marines, so we're assigning your platoon as extra military police.
Yes, sir.
You'll do street duty in town this morning and relieve the gate and security details on the base this afternoon. We want the town and entire military installation shaped up. Thorough in appearance and military courtesy.
I'm sure my visit will tell me a lot.
At ease. I hope so, sir. Oh, Mr. Horton, this is Lieutenant Peterson. Mr. Horton is special counsel here from Washington for a little look-see.
How are you, Peterson?
Nice to meet you, sir. Could we provide an escort for you, sir? Some transportation?
No, I'd like to prowl around alone, find out what's really going on around here. Well, I won't be able to join you for lunch today, Colonel. I have an invitation from the Army Club. Great bunch. I served in the Army myself, 124th. Great outfit. Oh, good background for my work with the Military Appropriations Committee. Yes, sir. Great outfit.
Yes, sir.
See you later, Colonel.
That'll be all, Sergeant. But remember, I want this town and this base policed like it's never been.
I understand, sir. Everything will be 4-0 right down the line, sir.
Ain't it lovely? Here we are, girls. Secret Agents 000. How do we rate all these choice assignments?
Well, it's just for one day.
Yeah, someday they picked. Streets full of them guys from the fleet. And after 8 months at sea, they just love to have some MP remind them to keep their shirts buttoned and their tie clips straight. They're real sweet about it.
All right, you people, listen up. Now, I told you how I wanted things shaped up, so hop to it. I don't want to see one Marine in this town stepping that much out of line. Peters, Swanson, Matthews, you take the downtown Liberty District. Okay, Gottschalk, you take Center Street, Slater, Wharton Avenue, Pyle, Bristol Street. You do know where Bristol Street is.
Yes, sir, I sure do, Sergeant. That's where they got all them bowling alleys and penny arcades and dance halls. I always try to avoid that street whenever I'm in town on Liberty. Some of the folks that you meet there ain't too respectable. Well, we'll see you, Sergeant.
Hold it. Gottschalk, you take Bristol. Pyle, you get Palmdale Avenue.
Right, Sergeant.
Hold it. Palmdale, isn't that where,
Girly shows, tattoo parlors, pool hall?
Now, there's a street that's just full of sin, Sergeant.
Slater, you got Palmdale, too. Pyle, you move over to, Beacon Street. What's on Beacon?
Gin joints.
Now, that's another evil street. Evil, evil, evil.
Gottschalk, you got Beacon. See here, Pyle? There's the perfect street for you. Only 2 blocks long and right in back of us here. Woodlawn Lane. Anything on it?
Too close to the MP station. No action at all.
Perfect. There's your assignment, Pyle. All 2 blocks of Woodlawn Lane. Walk up, walk down. Just make sure it doesn't explode into violence.
I'll do my best, Sergeant.
Fine. I wouldn't trust Woodlawn Lane to anyone else. Now, don't leave it and report back to me at noon.
Right, Sergeant.
Here you are, Gomer.
I sure wish you would stay with me, Duke. I don't know a thing one about MPing.
It's no trouble. You've seen him working before.
Never took no notice. The only lawman I ever knew was Sheriff Andy Taylor back home.
Same thing. Just be firm, be tough.
Tough? But Andy Taylor wasn't tough. He's real nice. Matter of fact, folks was always talking on how nice he was.
Okay, be nice. It doesn't matter. There's no action around here anyway.
Sure would feel a whole lot better, though, if somebody was to tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Just make sure the guys are neat and behave themselves. Oh, and make sure they've washed behind their ears.
You ain't gonna start pulling my leg, are you, Duke?
You'll be all right. Just relax.
Hey, fellers. It's 1 o'clock in the button factory. I'm a military policeman, and I'm supposed to tell you fellers about things like collar button, things like that. Fact is, you're kind of my first customers.
Oh, you're a military policeman.
Uh-huh. That's what it says here, military policeman. Or it would say that if there's room, so they just kind of boiled it down to initials.
And this is your first day on the job, right?
Right. How'd you know that?
Well, you see, that's our duty, to go around town checking on the MPs to make sure they do a good job.
That's right, pal. We're checkers.
Checkers, huh? Is that kind of like comparison shoppers?
Exactly. I think the private here is doing well. What do you think?
Not bad. Not bad at all. But there were a couple of things.
Well, we could give him a break. It's his first day on the job. We could excuse him.
If you really think so.
Well, what is it, fellers? Am I doing something wrong? Please tell me.
We're not supposed to tell you. We're here to grade you, and then we make a report.
Come on. I sure would appreciate it.
Well, okay. Just this once. First thing, the armband.
Is it wrong?
Is it wrong? He don't know?
He don't know.
How did they ever let you out in the street with it upside down?
Upside?
Yeah, it's got to be turned the other way.
Sure.
So when you put your arm up, people can read it.
Sure. And that gun belt.
Well, is it wrong, too?
He don't know.
He don't know.
He just don't know? Look, the gun belt is supposed to be worn down on the hips, close to the thighs, so you're ready for a quick draw.
Like John Wayne does in the Fighting Seabees.
Sure, pal.
Well, I don't know about that. I kept asking them, but wouldn't nobody tell me.
And that hat.
Is that wrong, too?
He don't know. That hat, what do you think that strap is for? It's got to be worn underneath the chin in case a windstorm comes by.
Sure, see, it won't blow off that way. And one more thing. This weapon. This is a concealed weapon, and it's usually carried inside the pant leg, like that.
But you and all them others, they's carrying theirs.
You want to look better than they do, don't you? Now, let me look at you. Now you look like something. Don't he look better?
100% improvement. We got to give this kid a good grade.
He's a living dog.
I think we picked a winner.
They said they was checkers. I think that they was pulling tricks. What a mean thing. What a mean thing to do.
Is this one of your men, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Didn't I make myself clear this morning?
Yes, sir.
Then what is this? You don't seem very anxious to keep those stripes, Sergeant.
Mean thing. What a mean thing to do. I'm sorry, son, these, Sergeant, but them fellers, they seem like the...
I know. The thing is, we gotta keep you under wraps for the rest of the day. Hey, maybe you can just stay in and answer the phone, huh?
Hey, that's a good idea. I can do that real good. I'll do just like I done this morning, remember? I'll take your calls and I'll write them down.
That's out. The brig. Guard duty at the brig.
I can do that real good, too, Sergeant. You can bet your bottom dollar that those prisoners won't escape while I'm watching them.
Out, that's out. The back gate. It's quiet, it's remote, it's isolated. It's perfect. I got the perfect spot for you. Come on.
Yes, sir, Sergeant. Anywhere you want to put me, I'll just go there.
Any business?
Nobody's come through all afternoon.
Perfect. You're relieved. All right, pal. Now take the duty here, stand guard until 1700. Then secure with that locker and report back to me. Is that clear?
As clear as can be.
You don't have to write it down.
No. Just say it one more time.
Secure at 1700. But until then, nobody gets in unless he has an ID card. Nobody. And anybody gets out of line, you simply do a raised pistol and you take him to the brig. Now, it's that simple, pal. All right? Let's see how you do. I'm coming in.
You just come right ahead, Sergeant. You welcome as can be. You know that.
No. You don't know me.
I don't?
You don't know anybody. You don't have friends. You don't know faces. You only have eyes for this little card. You don't let a single human being on this base without this card.
Well,
Repeat, nobody through this gate without a card.
With the card in, without out. Right.
Right. Now, look, pal. This is the easiest post on the entire base. Don't foul up. I still want to have these tomorrow.
Right, Sergeant.
Okay.
Halt!
What are you doing?
Nobody passes through here.
What?
You just told me I don't know you, so halt.
That was a test. I said you don't let anybody through without a card. This card.
Right. Pass, friend.
Oh.
ID card, please.
What's that?
You have to have an ID card.
I have an appointment with Colonel Gray.
Makes no difference. It's not friends or faces. It's just that itty-bitty card.
Well, I don't have a card, but I do have an appointment. Now, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry, sir, but orders is orders.
This is absurd. I am Brewster Horton, special counsel from Washington on assignment. Now, does that satisfy you?
You still have to have a Marine ID card.
Do you mean to say that you're actually going to stand there and not let me through?
That's right, sir. Not without that card, my sergeant said. I don't have friends and I don't know faces. Nothing personal, sir. I'm sure if we met under happier circumstances, we'd be friends.
Oh, look here.
And while I don't know your face now, next time we meet, I'll know it. It's a big, friendly face. Matter of fact, you sort of favor my uncle, Ernest Spurgeon. Well, you'll excuse me, sir. I've got to secure this gate anyhow. Halt!
I'm going in. No, you wouldn't know. I told you who I am.
What you are is my prisoner. Sorry, but you'll have to move along, so move along.
Yes, sir. We do have one of the men from your ship, huh? Yes, sir. Well, as soon as you can send some men over here to call for him, sir. Yes, sir. Get him out of here. Commander,
This
we'll
is
have
the
that
most
information
ridiculous
before we got it
thing
somewhere
I've
here.
ever been in
It's around
contact
here, I
with.
think.
And don't you tell
here
me
it is.
what
There
I
was
can do
some
and what I
men
can't do.
Somebody shut that joker up! Put him in number 4.
One little one.
I'm sorry, sir.
Take care of you.
Well, we got a real
I demand
bad
that
one
Colonel
here,
Gray be notified
yes,
immediately. Believe me, when he hears of this, there is going to be trouble.
Well, I'm sorry as I can be about this, sir, but the sergeant here said it won't take long. Would you like something?
Yes, your name.
It's Gomer Pyle. Pyle rhymes with file. Makes it easy to remember.
Believe me, I won't forget it.
Yes, sir. We'll do that, Commander. Yes, sir. Well, Pyle, did you get that back gate secured?
Uh-huh. I done exactly like you said, Sergeant. And if it hadn't been for this one feller...
Break, Sergeant Carter. Break, Sergeant Carter.
This is Colonel Gray, Sergeant. We're waiting for Mr. Horton. He's here on some assignment from Washington. Check all gates and let me know if he's returned to the base.
Yes, sir. Give me the front gate.
Like I said, Sergeant, there was only this one feller that tried to crash through. He didn't even have on a uniform. Seemed kind of nervy to me.
This is Carter here. Has Mr. Horton come through there?
Horton.
Well, let me know the minute he does. Give me the west gate.
Can't imagine why he'd do a thing like that. He's a grown man, too. Had on a nice blue serge suit. He's a big fella with a big friendly face.
This is Sergeant Carter. Has Mr. Horton come through there? Well, check it, will you?
Well, I wasn't taking no chances on you losing them stripes, so I took him back there and I clanged the door shut.
Yes, huh? Well, let me know when he does. Yeah. Can't you see I'm busy? Will you beat it? You're off duty.
Yes, Sergeant.
Give me the colonel's office. All right, I'll wait. Grown man, blue shirt suit, big fella with a big friendly face. In there? Wide shut.
Hello? Someone there? Hello?
Colonel? Mr. Horton's on the base. No, sir, not exactly. He's here.
Well, I had to do something. He come barging through that gate like he owned this place.
Don't you understand, Pyle? He does. Oh, You wouldn't lock up another Marine or a sailor or a soldier or even a second lieutenant. No, not you. You gotta pull a pistol and take on a big shot.
What do you think will happen?
Well, he's up there with the colonel right now. I dare say your name will come up. Offhand, I would say your next 50 or 60 years in the Marine Corps will not be fun and games. In fact, you'll probably be an old man before you get off KP. You might be the first private in history to make the garbage detail his life's work.
Gosh, what'll I do?
I don't know, Pyle. I really don't. All I can say is, if the idea of desertion ever crossed your mind, you'll never find a better time to look into it.
Shoot, it can't be that bad.
Oh, can it? They're gonna get you up there, they're gonna work you over, and when you come out, you're gonna be the most chewed up... Duty Hut, Sergeant Carter. Yes, sir, he's here. Right away, sir.
Was it?
The colonel. He wants to see you on the double.
Well, I guess this is it. Could you go with me?
I'm gonna be busy here. I was the sergeant in charge, remember? I'm gonna be busy taking off these stripes. Pyle, I do have one suggestion. If they offer you a cigarette and a blindfold, take them both.
I have been on many military installations in my career, but I have never been subjected to...
Yes? Send him in.
That's the man.
Hey, sir. Private Pyle reporting this order, sir.
He's the one, all right. Well, I don't know what you're going to do in this situation, Colonel, but I can tell you what the Army would do.
I'll handle it, sir.
Good.
Pyle, do you have any idea what you did?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Then let me make the situation quite clear. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what you did. A very important, influential man from Washington asked to enter this base. You were on duty. You followed regulations, you carried out orders, and conducted yourself in a military manner. Well done, Private. You're dismissed.
Dismissed? All right, Colonel. You've made your little speech. Now do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go back to Washington.
Yes, sir. You're going back to Washington, and you're going to tell them that when they take security measures at Camp Henderson, they really take them. Why, even an official from Washington can't get through without proper identification. You can't ask for tighter security than that. Isn't that what you're going to tell them?
Well...
I mean, that should really please them back there, these strict precautionary measures. You're dismissed, Private.
Then I'm not really in any trouble? Golly! I can't wait to get back and tell Sergeant Carter. I won't even know how to explain it to him.
You just tell him what I said, that you followed regulations, carried out orders, and conducted yourself in a military manner.
Followed regulations.
What's the matter?
Do you happen to have a pencil and some paper? It's my memory. Wait till you hear, wait till you hear.
What are you doing here?
You'll never guess in a million years.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you in a brig?
You'll never guess in a million years. This is gonna come as a real surprise to you.
What happened? What'd the colonel say?
Wait till you hear, Sergeant. Wait till you hear.
Pyle, what did he say?
It's a good thing I wrote it down. He said, I followed regulations and carried out orders and conducted myself in a military manner.
Are you kidding?
He bragged on me and said dismissed.
Well, how about that, huh? The old man's okay, huh? He backed you up against a big brass.
Guess you don't have to worry about them stripes now, neither.
Hey, that's right.
Now, told him what you done too, Sergeant.
Hey, you did, huh? You put in a plug for me, huh? You told him I was the one that instructed you in the rules and regulations?
I told him what you said, how this never would have happened if it'd been you, that you would have let that man in without an ID card.
What did he say to that?
Someone is about to get a toe tag. Leslie, the more refined and sensible member of the trio, sighed as she checked the books. She told Marcus she trusts him, Jen. Maybe she's actually maturing. Maturing? Jennifer snorted. Angela, maturating is like a volcano deciding it's tired of lava. It's a trick. Oh, speak of the devil. The bell chimed, and Angela swept in, followed closely by a group of contractors. Leading them was a man who looked like he had stepped off the cover of a fitness magazine. His name was Tariq, and the moment he walked in, the oxygen seemed to leave the room. Leslie, Angela said, her voice tight. Tariq is here to start the expansion, even though his bid was a little high. Tariq flashed a dazzling smile at Leslie. I promise the work will be done right. Best price in the city. Jennifer was practically vibrating in her chair. She leaned over to Leslie. Honey, that is the kind of man you make a fool of yourself for. How does Angela not remember him? She remembers, Leslie whispered back. She told me she had a one-night stand with him 14 years ago in college. She's just pretending he's a stranger so she doesn't have to explain it to Marcus. Angela was currently treating Tariq with the warmth of an ice cube. Tariq, just do the job. I'll be in my office. Talk to Leslie if you need anything. I'll keep it professional, boss lady, Tariq said, his eyes twinkling with a secret memory. As soon as Angela retreated, Jennifer pounced. 14 years? And she thinks she can just professional her way out of that jawline? Child, please. But we have bigger fish to fry. Did you hear about Sabrina Murphy? Leslie nodded solemnly. The woman claiming Marcus is her baby daddy. The claim is she's got a kid with him, Jennifer said, her voice dropping to a theatrical whisper. And Angela burned up his car and his clothes last week because of it. Now she says she trusts him? No, honey. Angela has the address. She's going over there today. What? Leslie gasped. She'll ruin everything. Hell, I'm going with her, Jennifer exclaimed. I need to see this. I'm getting the Vaseline ready, just in case. Chapter 3. Verification. The drive to Sabrina Murphy's house was conducted in a tense silence, interrupted only by Jennifer's occasional commentary on the neighborhood's landscaping. If I was a mistress, I'd at least live somewhere with better curb appeal, Jennifer remarked as they pulled up to a modest suburban home. Angela gripped the steering wheel. I'm putting this to bed, Jen. I've been through too much with Marcus to let a ghost haunt my marriage. They stepped out of the car. Angela marched to the front door and hammered on it. When the door opened, a woman stood there, looking more confused than guilty. The confrontation was swift. Within 10 minutes, the truth came out like a burst pipe. Sabrina Murphy wasn't a mistress. She didn't have a child. She had never even met Marcus Williams. I was put up to it. Sabrina confessed, tears welling in her eyes. By a friend I'm no longer talking to. I'm so sorry for the trouble I caused. Angela stood on the porch, the wind taken out of her sails. She had burned Marcus's designer suits. She had turned his car into a charcoal briquette. And he was innocent. Angela stood designer. Angela stood designer. Oh, I'm in deep, Angela whispered as they walked back to the car. I'm in so deep. You melted his gold into a medallion that said, I can't stand your ass. Angela, Jennifer reminded her helpfully. You are in the deepest part of the ocean without a snorkel. Chapter 4. The Fake Confession. Later that day, Marcus sat in the sports studio with his partners, Joseph and Richard. Richard was currently distracted by his girlfriend, Keisha, who seemed to treat the studio like her personal living room. She's here again? Marcus muttered, watching Keisha hand Richard a sandwich. Every day, Todd, the studio's gopher, whispered. It's like she's the Secret Service. Secret Service. Marcus's phone buzzed. It was a letter, a digital scan of a confession from Sabrina Murphy. She had sent it to the studio, apologizing for the lies. Marcus read it, a slow smirk spreading across his face. So, she knows. Angela went to the house. And now she knows I was telling the truth the whole time. You gonna let her off the hook? Joseph asked. Oh, no, Marcus said, his eyes gleaming with mischief. I'm gonna make a point. She said she trusted me, then went behind my back. It's time for a little lesson in faith. When Marcus arrived home that evening, the house was draped in the scent of a gourmet dinner. Angela was waiting for him, looking like a Victorian mourner. Marcus, honey, she started, her voice trembling. I have to tell you something. I went to see Sabrina. I know, Marcus said, his voice dropping an octave. He sat on the sofa and buried his face in his hands, producing a convincing, dry sob. And I'm glad you did, because I can't live a lie anymore. Angela froze. What? Marcus looked up, his eyes artificially misty. I lied, Angela. I did sleep with her. That's my baby. The DNA test came back today. I told her to lie to you when you came over, but I just can't keep it inside. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, the explosion. Have you lost your damn mind? Angela screamed, the mature version of herself evaporating instantly. You think you're gonna come into this house and tell me that? I don't care what I just said about never flying off the handle again. You did what? Marcus let her scream for a full 3 minutes, watching as she looked for something to throw, only to realize she'd already burned everything he owned. Finally, he started laughing. Angela, stop. Stop. He pulled the letter from his pocket. I'm kidding. Sabrina sent me the apology letter. I knew you went over there. Angela stopped mid-lunge. She looked at the letter, then at Marcus. The realization hit her like a freight train. You played me? You didn't trust me, babe, Marcus said, his laughter dying down. You said you did. Then you went to her house. That's not trust. Angela deflated, sinking onto the floor. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll never fly off the handle again. I promise. Get off me. Marcus teased as she tried to hug his legs. I'm still mad about my car. Chapter 5. The Peaches Incident. Peace lasted for exactly 12 hours. The next morning, Angela was cleaning the hallway when she spotted something tucked near the baseboard outside MJ's room. She picked it up. It was a hand-rolled cigarette. She sniffed it. Marcus, she shrieked. Marcus came running from the bedroom, half-dressed. What? Is the house on fire? Again? Look at this! Angela held up the joint as if it were a live grenade. I found this outside MJ's room. Our son is a drug dealer. He's a crackhead in the making. Marcus took the joint, squinting at it. Babe, it's just weed. And MJ is 13. Let's stay calm. Calm? Calm? Angela was already pacing a trench into the carpet. It's a gateway drug, Marcus. Next thing you know, he'll be doing anything for a rock. He'll be living on the street corner with no teeth, just scratching and scratching. He'll be like my Uncle Harold. They call him Peaches now, because he lost his mind to the pipe. I don't want my baby to be called Peaches. Angela, you are spiraling, Marcus said, trying to maintain his composure. MJ is a good kid. Maybe it's not his. Whose would it be? Miss V's? Don't be ridiculous. Angela was already on her laptop. I'm ordering books. Is there crack in your family foundation? And when Junior just won't say no. We're having an intervention the second he gets home. When MJ walked through the door later that afternoon, he was met with a wall of parental intensity. Hey, y'all, MJ said, oblivious. I got an A on my history test. I'm flying high, Angela gasped. Flying high? He's admitting it. He's high as a kite right now. What? No, Ma, I mean. Marcus stepped forward, holding the joint. MJ looked at the joint, then at his parents. Don't lie to me, MJ, Angela cried. Lying is the first step to the street corner. Go to your room. You're on punishment until you turn 21. As MJ trudged upstairs, muttering about calling Child Protective Services, Miss V emerged from the kitchen. She looked tired, more tired than usual. She sat down at the table and sighed. "Will y'all stop screaming? I can't hear myself think. Miss V, we found drugs." Angela sobbed. "MJ is going to be a toothless crackhead named Peaches." Miss V looked at the joint on the table. She didn't look shocked. She looked embarrassed. "That's not MJ's. Then whose is it?" Marcus asked. "It's mine," Miss V said quietly. The room went silent. Angela's mouth hung open. "No, you fool," Miss V snapped, though her eyes were soft. "I've been going through chemotherapy. I have a little cancer. The doctor prescribed it for the nausea. It calms my stomach after the treatments." Thea left the room. Angela fell into a chair, her face turning a deep shade of crimson. "Miss V. Oh God, why didn't you tell us?" "I didn't want to fuss," Miss V said. "I'm fine. The doctor says 3 more treatments and I'm in the clear. But that boy upstairs didn't do nothing. He was covering for me because he saw me with it once." Marcus went to Miss V and hugged her tightly. "We're family, Miss V. You don't have to hide anything from us." Angela was already crying real tears this time. "You did," Miss V agreed. "And you owe that boy a PlayStation. Or a Bentley." Chapter 6. The dinner party disaster. In an attempt to fix her life, Angela decided to turn her attention to Jennifer's love life. "Jennifer is going back to that Teddy guy," Angela told the girls at the salon. "He's a loser. He doesn't pay child support. We need to set her up with a real man." "Jennifer hates blind dates," Leslie warned. "She won't know it's a date," Angela said, with a wicked grin. "It's a dinner party." The dinner party turned into a circus. Angela had instructed Marcus and Joseph to bring their finest single friends. The problem was that Richard brought Keisha, and Keisha brought her attitude. As Jennifer arrived, looking fabulous and ready to eat, she was immediately cornered by Angela's candidates. But the mood shifted when Scotty and Bill started whispering in the corner. "I hope you're not trying to hook me up with that sister," Scotty whispered to Marcus, loud enough for the kitchen to hear. "It would take both of us to hit that." The room went ice cold. Jennifer, who had been reaching for a piece of fried chicken, froze. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She simply set her plate down. "Let me tell you fools something," Jennifer said, her voice low and dangerous. "You'd be lucky to have a chick like me, because I hold my man down. I'm a queen. And you're just bitch-ass dudes." She turned to Angela. "Angie, I know you meant well, but I don't need your help to get a man. I'm overweight, but I'm not lonely. And yeah, Tommy's dad is a mess, but he's my mess. You can't protect me from me." Jennifer walked out with her head held high, though she did pause at the door. "But I better have a damn-to-go plate tomorrow, Angela." Chapter 7. The proposal and the alert. The final act of the week's drama took place at the television studio. Richard, feeling the pressure of Keisha's constant presence and his own growing affection, decided to make it official. "Namaras, a namarasieto al katira. I'm upgrading her ring," Richard told Marcus. "I'm proposing tonight." "I'm without a prenup?" Marcus asked, horrified. "She says a prenup is a setup for failure," Richard said, blinded by love. That night, Richard took Keisha to a private dinner and asked her to be his wife. She said yes, under the condition that the wedding include 22 Clydesdales and 5,000 doves. Meanwhile, Joseph and Leslie were having a very different kind of night. He took Leslie home, prepared a romantic meal, and started to lead up to the big question. But Leslie was distracted. She was checking the books, worrying about the salon, and looking generally agitated. "Leslie, I've been thinking," Joseph said. "I've been thinking too," Leslie snapped. "I'm tired. I'm weary. My soul is tired, Joseph." Joseph, confused, tried to pivot. "Babe, I saw a ring today. It was beautiful. $57,000. Leslie's eyes widened. "For who?" For you. If you wanted it." "Oh, so now you want to buy my love?" Leslie was spiraling. "After you said what we have works, You don't want to be tied down. You called me an old ball and chain. Joseph was losing altitude fast. He looked at the calendar on the wall. He remembered Marcus's man-law advice. Leslie, he said cautiously, is it that time of the month? The silence that followed was more terrifying than any of Angela's fires. Did you just bring up my cycle? Leslie whispered. It's just an alert, Joseph cried, backing away. A biological alert. You are definitely not ready to get married, Leslie said, pointing to the door. Get out, go sleep on the couch, and don't you even think about a Clydesdale. As Joseph retreated to the living room, he realized that in the world of Marcus and Angela, love wasn't about the absence of drama. It was about having someone who would stick around to watch the rerun. Upstairs, Marcus and Angela were finally quiet. The Barry White music was playing softly. You think they can hear us through the walls? Angela whispered. Let them listen, Marcus said, pulling her close. At least they know we're still singing the same song. Epilogue, the new normal. The following week, the salon expansion was finished. Tariq moved on to his next job, but not before giving Angela a wink that she chose to ignore. Miss V was feeling stronger, and MJ had his PlayStation and a newfound respect for the elderly. Richard and Keisha were busy planning a wedding that would likely bankrupt a small nation, while Joseph was still doing penance for the time of the month comment. In the Williams household, the walls were still thin, but the foundation was made of something much stronger than drywall. It was made of trust, a little bit of fire, and a whole lot of soul. And they lived, for better or worse, exactly as they were meant to. Thin walls, and thick plots. The Chronicles of the Williams Clan. Chapter 1. The Baritone of Reconciliation. The morning air in the Williams household was usually thick with one of two things: the smell of Angela's gourmet breakfast, or the sulphurous scent of a bridge being burned. On this particular Tuesday, it was a confusing mixture of both. MJ, a teenager whose ears had unfortunately developed the sensitivity of a deep-sea sonar, sat at the kitchen table, pushing a cold piece of French toast around his plate. He looked up as his father, Marcus, sauntered into the room. Marcus was glowing. He had that "I just conquered a small nation" look on his face. A look that usually meant the storm clouds of his marriage had temporarily parted for a ray of sunshine. "Morning, Dad," MJ said, his voice dripping with teenage cynicism. "How was your night?" Marcus leaned against the counter, flashing a megawatt smile. "Good, son. Real good." "Ready for your big test?" "Yeah, sure," MJ muttered. "Where's Mom?" "She's coming down." "Slept late?" MJ's eyes narrowed. "Slept late? That's a good sign. It means y'all at least survived the night in the same room. Did y'all make up?" Marcus tried to play it cool, but the skip in his step gave him away. "Well, son, look, that's a yes," MJ groaned, leaning his head on his hand. "See, I didn't want to hear it, but I kinda wanted to hear it. But mostly, I shouldn't have been listening." "Listening to what?" Marcus asked, his brow furrowing. "The walls, Dad. These walls are paper thin. I told you, when that Terry Pendergrass starts playing, I know exactly what's going down. And then you come downstairs smiling and giggling like a schoolboy, and Mom comes down right behind you all hing and happy. It's gross. It's Teddy Pendergrass." Marcus corrected, though his face was reddening. "And we were just talking." "Talking? In a deep voice?" "You sounded like that old fat dude with the real D voice." "Larry White?" "Barry White!" Marcus shouted. "And for the record, your mother and I have a very healthy communication style." The healthy communication in question, however, was currently under fire. The piece was a fragile glass sculpture in a room full of toddlers. The source of the tension? A woman named Sabrina Murphy, who claimed Marcus was the father of her child. Angela, a woman whose temper was legendary enough to have its own Wikipedia entry, had already expressed her feelings by turning Marcus's luxury car and his entire wardrobe into a very expensive bonfire the week before. As Angela descended the stairs, looking remarkably refreshed, the room's oxygen seemed to vanish. She kissed Marcus, a gesture of peace that felt like a treaty signed on the edge of a volcano. "I've decided to trust you, Marcus," Angela said, her voice smooth as silk. "I believe you didn't sleep with that woman. I'm letting it go." Marcus looked like a man who had just been pardoned from death row. "Baby, you serious? You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that." But as MJ slipped out the door for school, he whispered to himself, "Trust, but verify. That's what Grandma says. And Mom's got that verify look in her eye." Chapter 2. The Contractor from the Past. The expansion of Lady Andy's salon was supposed to be a milestone for Angela. Instead, it was becoming a theatrical production of the ghost of one-night stands past. Angela stood in the middle of the construction dust, her arms crossed, watching a group of rugged men tear down a bearing wall. Her best friends, Jennifer and Leslie, were there to supervise, which mostly involved ogling the laborers. "Angela, honey," Jennifer whispered, nodding toward the head contractor, Tariq. Angela squinted. Tariq was tall, handsome, and carried himself with the confidence of a man who knew exactly how to use a power drill. "No." "Should I?" "He's the man you make a fool of yourself for," Leslie added, laughing. "The kind of man who makes you forget you're a lady." Tariq walked over, wiping sweat from his brow. Angela's face remained a mask of professional indifference. "I'm sorry. Have we met?" "I hire a lot of people," Tariq smirked. "College? That one night in the dorms? You were wild, Angela. I'd never forget you." The salon went silent. You could hear a hairpin drop. Jennifer looked like she had just won the lottery. "Wild? Angela? Our Angela?" "I have no idea what you're talking about," Angela snapped, though her ears were turning pink. As Tariq walked away, Jennifer leaned in. She remembers. Look at her twitch. That man is a walking reminder of the before Marcus's era, and she is terrified he's going to spill the tea. "I am a happily married woman," Angela shouted to the room at large. "Lately?" Jennifer asked. "Because last I checked, you were World War IIIing it with Marcus over some baby mama drama." "I told him I trust him," Angela insisted. "Yeah," Jennifer said, pulling a slip of paper from her purse. "And that's why I got Sabrina Murphy's address. Because trust is just another word for I'm going to catch you in the act." Chapter 3. The Investigation. The trip to Sabrina Murphy's house was less CSI and more Real Housewives of Atlanta. The sting operation. Angela, Jennifer, and Leslie piled into Angela's car, the atmosphere thick with the scent of hairspray and vengeance. "I just need to know the truth," Angela muttered, gripping the steering wheel so hard it groaned. "I've been through too much with Marcus. If he's got a secret kid, I'm not just burning the car this time. I'm burning the whole zip code." "I brought the Vaseline," Jennifer said, patting her bag. "Just in case things get physical. You know how you get, Angela. You start off all Martin Luther King peaceful talk, and 5 minutes later, you're Malcolm X, by any means necessary." "I'm with Malcolm," Leslie added. When they arrived, the truth came out not with a bang, but with a whimper. Sabrina Murphy wasn't a bitter ex-lover. She was a woman who had been paid to lie. A friend of Marcus's had put her up to it to ruin his reputation. The realization hit Angela like a ton of bricks. Marcus was innocent. He had been telling the truth the whole time, and she had melted his gold jewelry into a medallion that said, "I can't stand your ass." Back at the house, the guilt began to eat her alive. She prepared a romantic dinner, lit candles, and waited for Marcus to come home so she could grovel. When Marcus walked in, he saw the spread and the tears in Angela's eyes. "Honey, I'm so sorry," Angela sobbed, throwing herself into his arms. "I didn't believe you. I burned your clothes. I melted your gold. I'm never flying off the handle again. I promise." Marcus held her, a strange glint in his eye. "It's okay, baby. I promise I'll never lie to you again. But there's something I have to tell you." Angela froze. "I lied," Marcus said, his voice dropping to a somber tone. "I did sleep with her. And that's my baby. The DNA test came back today. We need to figure out how to work this out. The transformation was instantaneous. The changed Angela vanished. The volcano erupted. She grabbed a heavy vase. Have you lost your damn mind? You think you're gonna come in here and tell me that? I don't care what I just promised. She chased him around the kitchen island, swinging the vase like a mace, until Marcus collapsed on the floor, howling with laughter. It's a joke! It's a joke! He screamed, shielding his face. I got a letter from Sabrina today. I knew you went over there. I was making a point about trust. Angela stopped, mid-swing. She was panting, her hair a wild halo of fury. That is not funny, Marcus. Neither is my car being a pile of ash, Angela. Get off me. Chapter 4. The Peaches Incident. Just as the marriage stabilized, a new threat emerged. The potential downfall of their only son. It started with a smell. Not the Barry White smell, but a skunky, herbal aroma wafting near MJ's bedroom. Marcus and Angela found the evidence in the hallway. A perfectly rolled joint. Crack, Angela whispered, her eyes wide with horror. It's weed, Angela, Marcus said, trying to be the voice of reason. It's a joint, not a crack pipe. It's the gateway drug, Marcus. 1 minute he's smoking the Mary Jane, the next he's living on a street corner with no teeth, scratching his neck and calling himself Peaches. Who is Peaches? My Uncle Harold. He did so many drugs they called him Peaches. I will not have a Peaches for a son. Angela spent the next 6 hours at the library. She returned with a stack of books titled, Is There Crack in Your Family Foundation? And When Junior Won't Say No. She even found a VHS tape of a 1980s anti-drug PSA featuring a rapping turtle. When MJ came home from school, he was greeted by an intervention. Son, Marcus began, holding the joint up like a piece of cursed treasure. Do you know what this is? MJ looked at it, then at his mother, who was currently wearing a Say No to Dope t-shirt over her designer blouse. That's a joint, Dad. Why are you holding it? Don't play with me, Angela screamed. I found it in the hall. You're going to turn into Peaches. You're going to lose your teeth. All that money we spent on your braces, MJ, gone. Mom, I don't smoke, MJ insisted. I got an A on my test today. I was flying high on success, not weed. Go to your room, Marcus shouted, until you're ready to tell the truth. The drama was interrupted by the arrival of Miss V, the elderly housekeeper who was the backbone of the family. What is all this noise? She asked. Mege, isa drug, kingpin, Angela sabed. Miss V looked at the joint in Marcus's hand. The room went silent. Marcus dropped the joint as if it had turned into a snake. Angela's jaw hit the floor. Miss V? Marcus gasped. You're ahead. I have cancer, Miss V said quietly. The chemotherapy makes me nauseous. The doctor prescribed the marijuana to help me keep my food down. I must have dropped it when I was doing the laundry. The guilt that washed over Marcus and Angela was so thick you could have carved it with a knife. Angela immediately transitioned from drug warrior to guardian angel, hugging Miss V and promising to buy her the highest grade medical cannabis in the state of Georgia. MJ poked his head back into the kitchen. So, am I still grounded? Or do I get that Bentley I asked for as an apology? Get back in your room, Peaches, Marcus yelled. Chapter 5. The Gay Best Friend. The world of Marcus Williams was one where men were men and women were complicated. This was why the arrival of Nick Boland caused such a stir. Nick was Angela's best friend from college. He was handsome, athletic, and possessed a charm that made Marcus's skin crawl with jealousy. To solve this problem years ago, Angela had told Marcus a tiny, white, strategic lie. Nick was gay. For a decade, Marcus had welcomed Nick into their home with open arms, confident that his wife was safe with a man who wasn't on the market. When Nick came to visit the salon, he was an instant hit. Jennifer practically threw herself at him. He is fine, she whispered to Angela. Marcus lets you hang out with him? Marcus thinks he's gay, Angela whispered back. Is he? No. But it's the only way Marcus won't have a heart attack every time we go dancing. The lie began to unravel when Marcus decided to do a good deed. He invited Nick over for dinner, along with Joseph and Richard, to celebrate a new business deal. "Nick," Marcus said, leaning back with a beer, "I got a friend I want to set you up with. His name is Frank, Big Frank. He's a security guard at the studio. He's huge, he's strong, and he's looking for a cuddle buddy." Nick, who was currently eyeing Angela's legs, choked on his wine. "Frank? Big Frank?" "Yeah," Marcus said enthusiastically. Angela tried to intervene. "Marcus, honey, I don't think Nick is Big Frank's type." "Nonsense. Nick likes them strong, don't you, Nick? I called him. He's on his way. He spent 2 years in prison for attempted murder of his last lover. But don't worry, he's changed." Nick turned pale. "Prison? Murder? Marcus, man. I'm not gay." The silence that followed was deafening. Marcus looked at Nick, then at Angela, who was suddenly very interested in the pattern on her napkin. "You're not gay?" Marcus asked, his voice rising in an octave that suggested a coming storm. "No, man, I'm straight. Angela told me to play along so you wouldn't get jealous." Marcus didn't scream. He didn't yell. He just looked at Angela. "So, for 10 years, I've been letting good old Nick take my wife dancing, believing he was interested in Big Frank's waxed legs. Men and women can be friends without being intimate." "I used to want her," Nick admitted, sensing the honesty in the room. "In college, I definitely wanted her, but we stayed friends." Marcus stood up. "I feel violated. I feel like my whole life is a lie. I'm going to go talk to Big Frank and tell him the date is off. And Angela, you're buying me a new car, a better one than the one you burned." Chapter 6. The Altar of Chaos. As the year progressed, the theme of For Better or Worse was put to its ultimate test. Through the lens of marriage and the fear of it, Richard and Keisha were the outliers. Keisha was a woman who saw a good man as a trophy to be won, and Richard was a man who had been lonely long enough to be blind to red flags. Their relationship was a whirlwind of expensive gifts and Keisha's constant presence at the sports studio, where she redecorated with red swatches that looked like a crime scene. One night, Richard decided to skip the long engagement. "Let's do it," he told Keisha. "Right now, let's find a judge and get married." Keisha's eyes sparkled with the light of 1,000 diamonds. "A judge? But my dream, the 22 Clydesdales, the 5,000 doves, the puff of white smoke. We'll do the wedding in Venice later," Richard promised. "But I want you to be mine right now." They ran off to the courthouse, leaving their friends in a state of shock. But for Joseph and Leslie, the M word was a source of terror. They lived together, they shared a life, but they were stuck in a stalemate. Joseph wanted to propose, but he was haunted by the time Leslie had said no in the past. Leslie wanted to be married, but she was terrified of losing the freedom of her independence. At a dinner party, shortly after Richard and Keisha's elopement, the tension boiled over. Joseph had been carrying a ring in his pocket for weeks. "Leslie," Joseph said, his voice trembling, "I saw how happy Richard and Keisha are, and I thought, maybe we should. Ta." Leslie froze. She looked at the ring box. Her heart hammered against her ribs. "Joseph, I don't know if I can." "Why not?" Joseph asked, his heart breaking in real time. "We do everything married people do. I pay the bills, we raise the kids, we sleep in the same bed." "It's different," Leslie cried. "When you have the papers, everything changes. You start taking each other for granted. You stop trying." "I haven't stopped trying for 10 years, Joseph shouted. The argument moved to the kitchen, where Marcus and Angela were trying to stay out of the crossfire. Joseph, frustrated and losing his grasp on man law, made a fatal error. "You know what, Leslie?" Joseph snapped. "I think you're just being sensitive. What's the date? Is it that time of the month?" The room went cold. Marcus winced, covering his eyes. "Mayday," he whispered. He's crashing. He's losing altitude. Angela stepped forward, her face a mask of sisterly fury. Did you just ask her if it's her cycle? Joseph, you are definitely not ready to get married. You don't even know man law number 1. Never, ever, ever speak on the time of the month. You just nod and agree until it passes. I was just looking for an alert. Joseph defended himself. Leslie grabbed her purse, her eyes flashing. You want to know what time it is, Joseph? It's time for you to sleep on the couch. For the next month. Let's see how sensitive I am then. As the friends gathered in the aftermath, Marcus looked at Angela. They had survived the baby mama drama, the fire, the drug scare, and the gay best friend. They were a mess, but they were a mess together. So, Marcus said, leaning in. Angela smiled, a real, genuine smile. Maybe, but I'm keeping the medallion, just as a reminder. Of what? Of how lucky you are that I haven't killed you yet. I love you too, baby, Marcus laughed, as the sound of Barry White began to play softly from the speakers upstairs. MJ, sitting in his room, sighed and put on his noise-canceling headphones. Here we go again. Thin walls and thicker drama. A novel of love, lies, and Larry White. Chapter 1. The Morning Symphony. In the Williams household, privacy was a luxury that the architectural blueprints simply hadn't provided for. The walls weren't just thin. They were practically suggestions, filtering every groan, argument, and soulful R and B track through the drywall like a sieve. MJ, a teenager whose ears had developed a supernatural sensitivity to his parents' moods, sat at the breakfast table, poking at a pancake that looked as tired as he felt. He had spent the better part of the night listening to the shifting dynamics of the master bedroom. See, I didn't want to hear it, MJ muttered to the empty kitchen, but I kinda wanted to hear it. His father, Marcus, a man who carried the weight of a local sports broadcasting career and a marriage that often felt like a high-stakes playoff game, walked in. He looked weary, but there was a flicker of hope in his eyes, a hope that usually preceded a very specific type of singing. Who is Larry White? MJ asked, breaking the silence with the bluntness only a son can manage. Marcus paused, a coffee mug halfway to his lips. Who? You know, old fat dude with the real deep voice. MJ imitated a bass rumble that could shake the foundation. I love you, baby. I love you, baby, baby. Marcus groaned, the sound coming from his soul. It's Barry White, son. And why are you even thinking about Barry White at 8 in the morning? Because if I hear him, I know y'all are coming down smiling and happy, singing Larry White songs. But you ain't smiling, Dad, which means Mom is still mad. Marcus sighed. It was true. The Sabrina Murphy incident was still hanging over the house like a toxic cloud. Marcus had been accused of fathering a child with a woman he swore he'd never even met. In response, Angela, his loving, fiery, and occasionally volcanic wife, had burned his car, his clothes, and had his gold jewelry melted down into a medallion that essentially said, I hate you. Your mother is coming down, Marcus said, his voice dropping an octave as if he were trying to summon some of that Larry Barry White energy. She slept late. That's a good sign. But when Angela finally appeared, she wasn't singing. She was gliding in with a silent, regal frostiness that could preserve a side of beef. How was your night? Marcus asked, his voice hopeful. Good, Angela replied, her voice a clipped monotone. Where's Mom? MJ asked, though she was standing right there. It was the classic, don't talk to me, directly formation. The tension was broken only by the arrival of the school bus. MJ took his exit, but not before delivering one final blow to his father's dignity. Remember, Dad, when that Teddy Pendergrass gets to playing, I know what's happening. It's Teddy! Marcus shouted at the closing door. Teddy Pendergrass. Chapter 2, The Trust and the Verify. Left alone, Marcus and Angela faced each other across a battlefield of cold eggs and unspoken grievances. Then, the unthinkable happened. Angela smiled. Baby, I've been doing a lot of thinking all night long, she said. That explains all the smoke I saw coming out of your ears. Marcus quipped. I've decided to trust you. I believe you did not sleep with this woman, and I'm gonna let it go. Marcus felt like he'd just won the Super Bowl. Baby, you serious? You know how long I've been waiting to hear that? Thank you. He moved to embrace her, but the shadow of the burned-down Mercedes and the scorched silk shirts still lingered. Angela was a fire starter, a woman who didn't just get mad. She got even with an accelerant. If she was letting this go, Marcus was a new man. He left for the studio floating on air. However, the letting it go, part of Angela's personality, had a very short half-life. No sooner had Marcus left than she was at her salon. I got the number, Angela whispered, her eyes darting around the construction zone of her salon expansion. I got the address to Sabrina Murphy. I'm going to her house. Angela, no, Leslie cried, the voice of reason that was usually ignored. You told the man you trusted him. I do trust him, Angela countered. But I need to verify. Trust, but verify. That's what the president says. That's what people say before they end up on the evening news. I want to see if this chick actually exists or if she's just a ghost. Marcus made up to test your blood pressure. Chapter 3. The Ghost of College Past. As the salon expansion continued, a new figure entered the fray. Tariq, the contractor. He was tall, handsome, and carried a level of swagger that made Marcus look like an amateur. When Angela saw him, she froze. It wasn't just that he was good-looking. It was that he represented a chapter of her life she'd filed under wild and regrettable. 14 years ago, in the heat of a college party, Tariq and Angela had shared a one-night stand. I can't believe she doesn't even remember me. Tariq lamented to Leslie, who had recommended him for the job. She remembers. Leslie whispered back. She's just happily married and trying not to have a heart attack because you're standing in her lobby. Angela spent the morning pretending Tariq was a sentient piece of drywall. She talked through Leslie. She talked through the dog Fifi. She did everything but look him in the eye. But Tariq was persistent. He knew the structural integrity of the building, and he suspected the structural integrity of Angela's happy marriage was just as precarious. Meanwhile, Marcus was at the sports studio, trying to survive his own drama. His business partner, Richard, was dating Marcus's ex-wife, Keisha. It was a situation so tangled that it required a flowchart to explain. Keisha was a constant presence, bringing love and lunches to the office in a way that felt more like a territorial marking than an act of affection. The soda machine is broken, Keisha announced, entering the studio like she owned the airwaves. And Richard, honey, I brought you some salad. Todd, the studio assistant and resident instigator, watched from the sidelines. She's here a lot, man, he whispered to Marcus. Like Secret Service. A lot. It's a place of business, Marcus groaned. But his mind was elsewhere. He had just received a letter from Sabrina Murphy. The letter was a bombshell. Dear Marcus, I am so sorry. Your wife came to see me. I told her the truth. I was put up to this by someone I'm no longer friends with. I don't even have a kid. Marcus felt a mix of vindication and fury. Vindication because he was innocent. Fury because Angela had lied to his face about trusting him, only to go behind his back and interrogate a stranger. Chapter 4. The Peaches Intervention. Back at the Williams house, a new crisis was brewing. Angela, while cleaning the hallway, found a small hand-rolled cigarette. She didn't need a drug dog to tell her what it was. A joint, she screamed, her voice hitting a frequency that only dogs and MJ could hear. Marcus, our son, is a crackhead. It's weed, Angela, Marcus said, trying to maintain his calm as he entered. Nobody becomes a crackhead from one joint. That's how it starts. Next thing you know, he'll be on the street corner with no teeth, scratching himself and calling himself Peaches. Angela's imagination was a runaway train. She spent the afternoon at the library, returning with a stack of books titled, Is There Crack in Your Family Foundation? And When Junior Won't Say No. She was prepared for a full-scale intervention. She was ready to call the DEA, the FBI, and maybe a local exorcist. When MJ walked in from school, looking particularly relaxed because he'd aced a test, Angela pounced. You're high, she accused. You're turning into Peaches. I got an A on my test, Mom. MJ protested. An A for addict, Marcus stepped in, trying to be the good cop to Angela's insane cop. MJ looked at the joint and then at his parents. A look of realization dawned on him. That ain't mine. That's Miss V's. The room went silent. Miss V was the elderly, church-going, mothball-smelling housekeeper who had been with the family for years. The idea of her blazing up was like imagining the Pope at a rave. "Don't you lie on that old woman," Angela shouted. "I'll pop you right upside your head." But then, Miss V herself entered. She looked tired. Her usual spark dimmed. She saw the joint in Marcus's hand and didn't flinch. "It's mine," she said softly. The silence that followed was heavy. Angela's Peach's speech died in her throat. "Miss V?" Marcus asked, confused. "Why?" "I've been taking chemotherapy," she confessed, her voice trembling slightly. "I have a little cancer, the marijuana. It calms my stomach after the treatments. The doctor prescribed it. The intervention collapsed." The anger evaporated, replaced by a crushing guilt. Angela, who had been ready to send her son to rehab, now found herself weeping on the shoulder of the woman she'd just accused of being a drug mule. "I didn't want y'all to make a fuss," Miss V said, patting Angela's hand. "I'm fine. The doctor says 3 more treatments and I'll be clear." MJ, seizing the moment of parental weakness, stepped forward. "So, about that apology, I'll take it in the form of cash, check, or a Bentley." "Get to your room, Peaches," Angela barked, her maternal instincts returning with a vengeance. Chapter 5. The dinner party from hell. To make it up to Jennifer, who was struggling with a deadbeat ex and a lonely heart, Angela decided to host a dinner party. The goal: to fix Jennifer up with a good man. She recruited Marcus and Joseph to bring their most eligible, non-bitch-ass friends. Marcus brought Billy, a cop, and Joseph brought Scotty, a high school football coach. The night was a disaster before the appetizers were even served. Richard and Keisha showed up uninvited, with Keisha complaining that the $1,500 bottle of wine Leslie brought should be put on heat because it was red. "Angela, you're spending all his money," Keisha whispered loudly, eyeing the new pictures on the wall. "I don't trust these demons in this house." When Jennifer arrived, she was glowing in a new jacket, but the eligible bachelors were less than impressive. Within 10 minutes, Scotty and Billy were in the kitchen, whispering loud enough for the whole house to hear. "I hope you're not trying to hook me up with that sister," Scotty said, nodding toward Jennifer. "It would take both of us to hit that." They laughed a cruel, dismissive sound. They didn't realize that Jennifer was standing right behind the swinging door. They didn't realize that Jennifer didn't just have meat on her bones. She had a spine of steel. She kicked the door open. The room went silent. "Let me tell you fools something," Jennifer said, her voice a low, dangerous rumble. "You'd be lucky to have a chick like me." She turned to Angela, tears pricking her eyes. "I don't need your help, Angie. I'm lonely because I'm with a man who doesn't deserve me. Not because I'm overweight. You can't protect me from me." She swept out of the house, leaving the good men staring at their feet and Angela staring at the ruins of another good intention. Chapter 6. The Gay Friend Gambit. As if life wasn't complicated enough, Nick Boland arrived in town. Nick was Angela's best friend from college, handsome, charming, and a notorious player back in the day. To keep Marcus from getting jealous 14 years ago, Angela had told a little white lie. She told Marcus that Nick was gay. For over a decade, Marcus had welcomed Nick into their home, let him sleep on the couch, and even felt his muscle tone in a gesture of platonic brotherhood, all while thinking Nick was one of the girls. When Nick arrived at the salon, Jennifer and Leslie watched the chemistry between him and Angela. It was electric. "Marcus doesn't mind you hanging out with him?" Jennifer asked. "Marcus thinks Nick is gay," Angela whispered, grinning, but the lie was about to unravel. At the studio, Richard and Joseph finally came clean. "Aramo." "Marcus, the man's not gay," Richard said, trying to suppress a laugh. "Angela told you that so she could hang out with him. We all knew. He was hitting everything that moved in college." Marcus's world tilted. He remembered all the times he'd been vulnerable around Nick, He remembered the cuddling jokes. That night, when Angela brought Nick home for dinner, Marcus was ready. He decided to play the game. "So, Nick," Marcus said, leaning back with a predatory grin, "I have a friend I'd like to introduce you to. Big Frank. He's a security guard at the studio. He's gay, he's huge, and he's looking for a friend who likes to cuddle and spoon." Nick turned pale. Angela started to sweat. "I don't think that's a good idea, Marcus," Angela stammered. "Why not?" "Nick, you said you were looking for the right person. Frank just had his back and legs waxed. He's on his way over right now. He's done 2 years in prison for attempted murder of his last lover. But don't worry, he's a sweetheart." Nick couldn't take it anymore. "I'm not gay," he shouted. The truth came out in a torrent. The college ruse, the 14-year-old lie, the muscle-tone checks. Men and women can be friends without being intimate, Angela shouted, defending her lie. "Maybe," Marcus countered. "But friends don't have to lie for 14 years to prove it. Now, get Nick out of here before Big Frank actually shows up." Chapter 7. The Proposal Paradox. The season of drama reached its peak with a tale of two couples. Richard, in a fit of impulsive love, decided to propose to Keisha. He bought a $57,000 ring and planned a ceremony at the judge's office. "I want to get married right now," Richard told her. Keisha, visions of 22 Clydesdales, 5,000 doves, and a puff of white smoke dancing in her head, was momentarily deflated by the idea of a courthouse wedding. But then she saw the ring. "I am saying yes," she screamed. Meanwhile, Joseph and Leslie were trapped in a stalemate. Leslie had found a ring in Joseph's bag, which actually belonged to Richard, and assumed he was finally going to pop the question. When he didn't, she went into a tailspin of rejection. "I just don't know if I'm ready to get married," Leslie had told her friends earlier. But as soon as she thought the option was off the table, she wanted it more than anything. In the final confrontation at the house, Joseph, exhausted by the mixed signals, tried to explain his logic. "What we have works, Leslie. Why change it? Why get tied down by the old ball and chain?" It was the wrong thing to say. It was the only wrong thing to say. "The old ball and chain?" Leslie repeated, her voice rising to a pitch that threatened the structural integrity of the thin walls. "Leslie, you're being sensitive," Joseph said, digging a hole so deep he could see the earth's core. Is it that time of the month? You know, you get a little alert when it's that time." Marcus, watching from the kitchen, winced. "Mayday," he whispered. "He's crashing and burning." "Did you just bring up my cycle?" Leslie screamed. "You are definitely not ready to get married." As Leslie stormed out, Marcus walked over to Joseph and patted him on the shoulder. "Man, law number 1, Joseph," Marcus said. "You never, ever speak on the time of the month. You just nod, agree, and wait for the storm to pass." Outside, the sun was setting over the suburbs. In the Williams house, the walls were thin, the drama was thick, and somewhere in the distance, a berry white record was starting to play. Life wasn't perfect. It was scorched, messy, and occasionally involved medical marijuana and fake gay best friends. But as Marcus looked at Angela, who was currently arguing with the dog, he knew he wouldn't have it any other way. For better or worse, they were exactly where they were supposed to be. For better or worse. A novel of trust, fire, and thin walls. Chapter 1. The Breakfast of Champions. And Barry White. Boise. Barry White. The walls in the Williams household were not merely partitions. They were acoustic conductors, historical archives of every argument, reconciliation, and late-night playlist choice made by Marcus and Angela. On this particular Tuesday morning, the air in the kitchen smelled of overcooked bacon and the distinct, lingering scent of unresolved tension. MJ, a teenager whose ears were far more attuned to the nuances of adult relationships than any child's should be, sat at the breakfast table. He moved a cold piece of toast around his plate with the precision of a surgeon. His father, Marcus, stood by the counter, looking like a man who had survived a hurricane, only to realize he'd lost his favorite umbrella. "See, I didn't want to hear it, but I kinda wanted to hear it," MJ began, his voice dripping with that specific brand of teenage sass that could only be forged in the fires of a suburban household. Marcus sighed, a deep, weary sound. You shouldn't have been listening, son. I was trying not to. Pop, truly. But I know if I hear it, y'all are gonna come down smiling and happy, singing Larry White songs. Marcus paused, his hand hovering over a coffee mug. Who is Larry White? MJ rolled his eyes so hard, it was a wonder they didn't get stuck. You know, the old fat dude with the real deep voice. I love you, baby. I love you, baby, baby. It's Barry White, MJ. And for the record, your mother and I were talking. Talking? Is that what they call it when the Teddy Pendergrass starts playing and the floorboards start vibrating like a California earthquake? MJ smirked. Baza, MJ smirked. And then you come down here giggling like you just won the lottery, and mom follows right behind you, oh hee hee hee. But today, you ain't smiling. And you know what that means? It means, Marcus said, leaning over the table, that you need to finish your breakfast and get ready for your big test. Where's your mother? Mazio. Slept late? MJ replied, raising an eyebrow. Usually a good sign, but based on the look on your face, I'm guessing she didn't make up with you last night. Marcus looked away. The silence was his answer. The Sabrina Murphy incident was still a gaping wound in their marriage. Angela, a woman whose temper was as legendary as her hairstyling skills, had recently been informed falsely. Marcus maintained that he had fathered a child with another woman. Her response had been swift, biblical, and involved a significant amount of gasoline and a match applied to Marcus's car and his designer wardrobe. Well, son, Marcus muttered, at least we're still sleeping in the same room. The bus honked outside. A sonic salvation for Marcus. MJ grabbed his bag, but not before delivering one last jab. Good luck, Dad. His sigh did pasemos. And if you're gonna play Teddy tonight, maybe turn the volume down? Or buy me some noise-canceling headphones. I'm traumatized. Chapter 2. The Expansion and the Ghost of One-Night Stands Past. Lady Andy's salon was the heartbeat of the neighborhood. It was a place where secrets went to be amplified, where hair was laid to perfection, and where Angela Williams reigned as the undisputed queen. Today, the salon was a chaotic blend of hairspray fumes and construction dust. Angela was in the middle of a delicate expansion project. She wanted more space, more chairs, and more prestige. What she didn't want was to deal with Marcus's supposed infidelity. Yet, it clung to her like a bad perm. Good morning, babe, Marcus said, walking into the salon with the tentative steps of a man entering a lion's den. Angela didn't look up from her ledger. Good morning, Marcus. I've been thinking all night long. Angela, he started. That explains all the smoke I saw coming out of your ears. She snapped, finally looking at him. Her eyes were sharp, but there was a flicker of something softer behind the rage. Look, Marcus, I've decided to trust you. I'm going to believe you didn't sleep with this woman. I'm letting it go. Marcus felt a weight lift off his chest, so suddenly he almost stumbled. Baby, you serious? You have no idea how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thank you. Samtang tamache. Samtang tam 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 tam. Don't thank me yet, she whispered, leaning in. If I didn't have to go to work, I'd go up those stairs and soundproof that room right now. We made MJ on a temporary and awkward night. Imagine what we could do with a forgiven and forgotten one. As Marcus left, feeling like a king, the real drama of the day arrived in the form of Tariq, the contractor. Tariq was tall, muscular, and possessed the kind of smile that made the salon's female clientele suddenly forget why they were there. Leslie, Angela whispered to her friend and stylist. Is he gonna be here every day? Unfortunately, yes, Leslie replied, smirking. And Angela, honey, he is fine. That is the kind of man you make a fool of yourself for. Tariq walked over, looking professional, yet carrying a heavy aura of nostalgia. Angela, I just want to keep things professional. I know it was 14 years ago we had that one-night stand, but I don't remember you, Angela said flatly, her face a mask of stone. Jennifer, the salon's most outspoken stylist, and a woman who lived for mess, choked on her coffee. You don't remember him? Angela, he's got the kind of face you see in your dreams, and the kind of body you see on a fitness magazine. How you gonna forget that? I was in college, Angela said, her voice rising. I was wild. It was one night, and I am a happily married woman now. Tariq, do your job, build my walls, and keep your memories to yourself. But as Tariq walked away to talk to his crew, Angela's eyes followed him for just a second too long. Jennifer noticed. She remembers. Jennifer whispered to Leslie. Oh, she definitely remembers. And with Marcus in the doghouse over Sabrina Murphy? This salon is about to become a war zone. Chapter 3. The Letter and the Studio. At the C Sports Now studio, the atmosphere was a mix of high-definition lights and testosterone. Marcus and his partners, Joseph and Richard, were the stars of the show. Joseph was the steady hand. Richard was the resident playboy. And Marcus was the one currently trying to navigate the wreckage of his personal life while discussing point spreads. So the crowd favorite continues to be Davies, Marcus said to the camera, his professional mask firmly in place. Because why? He's the underdog. And doesn't everyone just love the underdog? In your case, the poodle, Joseph joked as they went to a break. The crew relaxed. Todd, the studio's errand boy and resident instigator, walked in with the mail. He looked like he was holding a live grenade. Hamar masilenu, usor masilenu. Hey Marcus, no mail today, but this letter just got dropped off for you. From Sabrina Murphy? The room went dead silent. Richard and Joseph looked at Marcus. Marcus looked at the envelope as if it were cursed. Read it, man, Richard urged. Put us out of our misery. Marcus tore it open. His eyes scanned the lines, and slowly, a look of vindication, pure, unadulterated. I told you so. Energy spread across his face. Dear Marcus, he read aloud, his voice gaining strength. I am so sorry for all the problems I caused you. Your wife came to see me this morning, and I told her the truth. I told her that you and I never met. We were never together. I don't even have a kid. I was put up to this by someone I am no longer friends with. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Whoa, Joseph breathed. Someone put her up to it? That is low. Low? Marcus stood up, crumpling the letter in a fist. My wife burned my car. She melted my gold jewelry into a medallion that says I can't stand your ass. And all because of a lie? Wait, Richard said, ever the pragmatist. The letter says Angela went to see her this morning, but she told you this morning that she trusted you and was letting it go before she knew the truth. Marcus paused. His eyes narrowed. She went behind my back. She didn't trust me. She lied about trusting me, while she was on her way to interrogate a stranger. Marcus, let it go, Joseph advised. You're cleared. The drama is over. Oh, the drama is just beginning, Marcus said, a devious glint in his eye. She wants to play games with trust? I'm about to show her how the pros play. Chapter 4. The Prank of the Century. That evening, the Williams home was a theater of war, disguised as a domestic sanctuary. Angela had spent the afternoon in a state of deep, agonizing guilt. She had seen Sabrina, heard the truth, and realized she had effectively committed arson against an innocent man. She decided to make it up to him. She made a romantic dinner. She lit candles. She even wore the dress Marcus loved, the one that usually led to Larry White songs. Marcus walked in, looking somber. He saw the candles, the wine, and the tearful look on Angela's face. Oh, Marcus, she sobbed, throwing herself into his arms. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm sorry I burned your car and your clothes. I promise I'll never fly off the handle again. I'm done. I trust you, baby. I swear. Marcus held her, patting her back with a cold, calculated rhythm. It's okay, Angela. It's okay. Because I have something to tell you too. And delicianas entamen wushializi. Angela pulled back, wiping her eyes. What is it? I lied, Marcus said, his voice dropping to a grave whisper. I did sleep with her. And that is my baby. The DNA test came back today. We need to figure out how to deal with this. I told her to lie to you and say she didn't have a kid so you'd stop harassing her, but I can't live with the guilt anymore. The transformation in Angela was instantaneous. The peaceful, forgiven wife vanished, replaced by a Valkyrie of pure, unbridled rage. Whoa, 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 she screamed, her voice hitting a decibel that likely shattered glass in the next zip code. Have you lost your damn mind? You think you're gonna come in this house and tell me that, after I just apologized? She lunged for him. Marcus scrambled back, laughing so hard he could barely breathe. Wait, wait, Angela, stop, he yelled, dodging a flying sofa cushion. I'm kidding. I got the letter, Angela. I know you went to see her. I know you didn't trust me. Angela froze, a heavy vase held over her head. You knew? I knew, Marcus said, catching his breath. And you lied to my face this morning saying you trusted me. We're even, Andy. We're both liars. Now put the vase down. She slowly lowered the vase, her chest heaving. That was cruel, Marcus. Burning my car was cruel, Angela. This was just performance art. Chapter 5. The Peaches Crisis. Just as the smoke from the Sabrina Murphy fire was settling, a new crisis emerged. It started with a smell, a pungent herbal scent drifting through the upstairs hallway. Angela was on high alert. Her motherly instincts, combined with her natural paranoia, led her to a discovery in the hallway outside MJ's room, a perfectly rolled joint. Marcus! She shrieked the next morning. MJ is a drug addict. Marcus, who was trying to enjoy a rare moment of peace, sighed. Angela, he's 13. He's a good kid. I found a joint, Marcus. A perfectly rolled joint. Our son is a crackhead in the making. It's weed, Angela, not crack. And we don't even know it's his. It's the gateway drug, Marcus. Next thing you know, he'll be doing anything for a rock. He'll be living on the street corner with no teeth, scratching himself like a maniac. Do you remember my Uncle Harold? They call him Peaches now because he lost all his teeth to the drugs. I will not have my son be called Peaches. Angela went into a frenzy. She spent the day at the library, returning with a stack of books titled, Is There Crack in Your Family Foundation? And When Junior Just Won't Say No. She even found a 1980s educational video where a man in a neon tracksuit rapped about how drugs are for turkeys. When MJ came home from school, he was met with an intervention that would have intimidated a cartel boss. Daddy, what's cracking? MJ asked, oblivious. I'm flying high today. Got an A on my test. Flying high? Angela screamed, pointing at him. He admitted it. He's high on the Mary Jane. Mom, what are you talking about? MJ backed away. We found your joint, MJ, Marcus said, though he looked skeptical. Tell us the truth. That ain't mine, MJ insisted. I don't smoke. You know me. Liar, Angela cried. You're going to your room and staying there until you turn into a productive member of society. As MJ was marched upstairs, Miss V, the Williams' longtime housekeeper and the family's moral compass, watched from the kitchen. She looked uncharacteristically nervous. Later that evening, MJ snuck downstairs to find Miss V. Miss V, you gotta help me. My parents think I'm a drug lord. Miss V sighed, looking at the teenager. It's mine. MJ froze. What? You're a stoner, Miss V? No, boy. It's for the chemo. I have a little cancer. The marijuana calms my stomach after the treatments. I didn't want to tell Marcus and Angela because I didn't want them to make a fuss. The humor of the situation evaporated, replaced by a heavy, somber realization. When Miss V finally confessed to Marcus and Angela, the room went quiet. The Peaches' jokes died on Angela's lips. They gathered around the older woman, their hearts breaking. Miss V, why didn't you tell us? Marcus asked softly. Because I'm not dead yet, she snapped, her old fire returning. And I have work to do. Now, can we let this go? The boy is innocent, and I'm just trying to keep my lunch down. Chapter 6. The dinner party from hell. Jennifer, the firebrand of the salon, was going through a rough patch. She was back with her ex, Tommy's dad, a man who had the emotional depth of a puddle and the financial reliability of a screen door on a submarine. Angela and Leslie decided it was time for an intervention of a different kind. A blind date, dinner party. We need a man for Jennifer, Angela declared. Someone strong, someone who can handle her outspokenness. You mean her loudness, Marcus corrected. The plan was set. Marcus and Joseph were tasked with bringing quality single men to the Williams house for a dinner party. The night arrived. Jennifer showed up, lured by the promise of Angela's fried chicken and mac and cheese. What she found instead was a lineup of men that could only be described as the island of misfit bachelors. There was Billy, a high school football coach who spent the entire night discussing the fundamentals of the blitz with a piece of cornbread. There was Scotty, a police officer, who seemed to be subconsciously reaching for his handcuffs every time Jennifer laughed too loudly. And then there were the uninvited guests, Richard and Keisha. Keisha, Marcus's ex and current girlfriend of Richard, was the human equivalent of a paper cut small, annoying, and capable of causing a surprising amount of pain. Angela, honey, Keisha said, eyeing the table. You're trying to hook up Jennifer with these guys? They work out. They're fine. They don't want. Well, they don't want all that. She gestured vaguely at Jennifer's curvy frame. Jennifer froze, a fork full of gumbo halfway to her mouth. The room went silent. Excuse me? Jennifer said, her voice dropping into a dangerous, low register. What did you just say, you little stick-figure demon? I'm just speaking the truth. Keisha shrugged. Men like this want a woman who takes care of herself. In the kitchen, the men were having their own disastrous conversation. Man, Scotty whispered to Billy, I hope they aren't trying to hook me up with that sister. It would take both of us to hit that. They laughed. They didn't realize Jennifer was standing right behind the swinging door. She didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She simply walked into the kitchen, looking at the two men with a cold, terrifying dignity. Let me tell you fools something, Jennifer said. You'd be lucky to have a woman like me, because I hold my man down. When things go wrong, I handle it. You two are bitch-ass dudes who aren't man enough to handle a real woman. Go to hell. She turned to Angela, who was mortified. But I'd rather be alone than with these clowns. I'm taking my to-go plate, and I'm out. The dinner party ended in a cloud of awkwardness and shame. It was a stark reminder that even with the best intentions, you can't fix someone else's life if you haven't sorted out your own. Chapter 7. The time of the month, May Day. As the weeks passed, the salon expansion neared completion, and the relationships in the group reached a boiling point. The focus shifted to Leslie and Joseph. Leslie and Joseph had a perfect arrangement. They lived together, they were happy, and they had both agreed that marriage was an unnecessary piece of paper. Or so they thought. The trouble started when Richard decided to upgrade Keisha's ring. He brought a selection of diamonds to the studio to show Marcus and Joseph. This one is $57,000. Richard bragged. Joseph looked at the rings. He started thinking. He loved Leslie. Maybe a piece of paper did matter. Word got back to the salon that Joseph was looking at rings. Leslie, despite her independent woman stance, found herself checking her ring finger in the mirror. She started getting butterflies. One evening, Joseph came home, looking nervous. He started to head toward the bedroom. Joseph, Leslie said, her heart racing. I want to talk to you. Oh, babe, Joseph said, looking weary. Your knees bother you all the time. I don't want to bend down. Let's just talk standing up. Leslie's face fell. Bend down? Why would you bend down? I don't know. I'm just tired, Leslie. I've been thinking a lot about us. About how what we have works. Why change it? Why get tied down with an old ball and chain? He meant it as a joke, a reflection of their long-standing agreement. But to Leslie, who had spent the day being teased by Jennifer and Angela about a proposal, it felt like a slap in the face. A ball and chain? She whispered. Is that what I am to you? No. No, Leslie, you're losing altitude. Pull up. Joseph realized he was crashing and burning. I just mean, we're happy, right? So you don't want to marry me, she said, her voice rising. Leslie, I'm confused. I asked you to marry me 3 years ago and you said no. Now you're acting like being married to me is some horrible thing I'm withholding. It's the way you said it, Joseph. No way, not happening. Then, Joseph committed the ultimate, unforgivable sin of the male species. He checked the calendar. Wait, Leslie, what's the date? Is it that time of the month? You know you always get a little more sensitive when... The silence that followed was more terrifying than any of Angela's screams. Leslie, Marcus whispered from the doorway, having just walked in to drop off some paperwork. Man, law number 1, Joseph, Richard added, appearing behind him. Joseph looked at Leslie. She wasn't crying. She was vibrating with a silent, incandescent fury. You have a lot of things to learn, Joseph, she said quietly. Starting with where the guest bedroom is. Because you're definitely not ready to get married. And you're definitely not sleeping in mine. Chapter 8. The Secret Husband. The salon expansion was finally done. To celebrate, Leslie's friend from college, Nick, came to town. Nick was everything Marcus wasn't. Artistic, soft-spoken, and incredibly handsome in a way that made Marcus instantly suspicious. This is Nick, Angela introduced him at the salon. He's my best friend from college. Marcus narrowed his eyes. Best friend? He looks like a guy who's trying to hit on everything that moves. Oh, Marcus, don't be silly, Angela laughed. Nick is gay. Marcus relaxed. Oh, well, in that case, welcome to town, Nick. For 3 years, Marcus had operated under this assumption. He had let Angela go out to dinner with Nick, go dancing with Nick, and even go shopping with Nick. But at the studio, the truth came out. Nick Boland is in town? Richard asked, laughing. Marcus froze. Gay? Joseph joined in. Who told you that? Nick is as straight as an arrow. A very, very busy arrow. The realization hit Marcus like a freight train. Angela had lied to him for years, just so she could hang out with her handsome friend without Marcus getting jealous. That night, Marcus decided to host a welcome dinner for Nick, but he invited a special guest, Big Frank, the 6'8" security guard from the studio. So, Nick, Marcus said at dinner, a shark-like smile on his face. Angela tells me, you're looking for love. And since you're, into guys, I brought someone for you. Big Frank walked in, looking like a mountain in a suit. Hey, Nick. Marcus says you're looking for a friend. Nick looked at Frank, then at Marcus, then at the mortified Angela. Marcus. I'm not gay. What? Marcus mocked surprise. You aren't? But Angela said. I lied, Angela shouted, unable to take the tension. I lied because I knew you wouldn't let me have a male friend. And Nick and I have never been intimate. We're just friends. Since we're being honest, Nick added, looking at Marcus. In the beginning, back in college, yeah, I wanted her. She's amazing. But she chose you, man, and I respected that. We've been just friends for a long time. Marcus looked at his wife. He looked at Nick. The anger was there, but so was a strange kind of respect. You played a long game, Andy, Marcus muttered. 3 years of gay husband jokes. That's commitment. Does this mean I don't have to date Big Frank? Nick asked nervously. Big Frank is a great guy, Marcus said, patting him on the shoulder. But yeah, you're off the hook. Just don't ever think about wanting her again. Or Frank will be the least of your problems. Chapter 9. For better or worse. The story of Marcus and Angela, Leslie and Joseph, and Richard and Keisha was never one of perfect harmony. It was a story of fire, of burnt cars, of thin walls, and of the constant, exhausting work of trust. As the novel concludes, Richard and Keisha had elapsed to a judge's office, a whirlwind marriage that everyone predicted would last about as long as a carton of milk. But for now, they were happy. Joseph was still in the doghouse with Leslie, but he was learning. He had bought a book on communicating without mentioning hormones and was currently on page 50. And Marcus and Angela? They were back in their bedroom. The Teddy Pendergrass was playing softly. Downstairs, MJ put on his noise-canceling headphones and sighed. "Miss V," he said as the housekeeper walked by. "You hear that?" Miss V paused, listening to the muffled giggling and the deep bass of the music coming through the ceiling. "I hear it, boy," she smiled. "It sounds like home. It sounds like Larry White." MJ grumbled. But he was smiling too, because in the end, whether it was through lies, pranks, or medical marijuana, they were all still there, and as the music played on, the walls of the Williams house continued to hold the echoes of a life that was messy, loud, and undeniably theirs. The end. Walls, widows, and weed. The Chronicles of Marcus and Angela. Chapter 1. The Legend of Larry White. The morning sun over the Williams household didn't just rise. It hit the windows with the force of a subpoena. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of overcooked bacon and the heavy, lingering residue of a marital standoff that had lasted exactly 3 days, 4 hours, and 22 minutes. Marcus Williams sat at the kitchen table, nursing a cup of coffee that was roughly as bitter as his current life situation. Across from him sat MJ, his teenage son, who was looking at Marcus with the kind of analytical scrutiny usually reserved for a biology project. "See, I didn't want to hear it," MJ began, his voice dropping an octave as he poked at a rubbery egg. "But I kinda wanted to hear it. You shouldn't have been listening, Dad. I was trying not to, but I know if I hear it, they're gonna come down smiling and happy, singing Larry White songs." Marcus blinked, his brain still foggy from sleeping on a sofa that was designed by someone who clearly hated the human spine. "Who is Larry White?" MJ rolled his eyes with the exaggerated patience of a youth dealing with a geriatric. "You know, old fat dude with the real D voice. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. Baby, 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 baby," Marcus groaned, rubbing his temples. "It's Barry White, MJ." And for the record, nobody was singing. Especially not Barry White. Larry, Barry, Terry, whoever. MJ shrugged. "You're gonna have to get another kid if y'all try to talk that low. It's a health hazard." The sound of footsteps on the stairs silenced the table. It was the sign. Angela was coming down. For the past week, the house had been a war zone. The catalyst? A woman named Sabrina Murphy. A pile of burned clothes. And a car that currently looked like a giant charcoal briquette. "Finish your breakfast," Marcus hissed. "Uh-oh. He ain't smiling," MJ whispered to the air. "You know what that means." Angela Williams entered the room like a tropical storm that had just been told it couldn't have a vacation. She didn't look at Marcus. She looked through him, as if he were a particularly translucent ghost. "How was your night?" Marcus asked, his voice hopeful and pathetic. "Good," Angela snapped. "Where's Mom?" MJ asked, knowing full well she was standing right there. "She's coming down," Marcus said, ignoring the sarcasm. "Slept late. That's a good sign." MJ let out a snort. "What do you mean?" "Well, it means that you two could have had a good night. Well, I mean, at least y'all sleeping in the same room. Did your mom make up last night?" Marcus looked at the ceiling, praying for a localized earthquake. "Well, son, look. That's a no." MJ leaned in, completely ignoring the danger signs radiating off his mother. "So, I was kinda hoping you did, but I was hoping I didn't hear it. But I did want to hear it. But I didn't want to hear it because if y'all doing it, then I'ma hear it." "Do what?" Angela finally spoke, her voice like a razor. "Why don't you make it up?" MJ continued, oblivious. I told you these walls were thin. When that Terry Pendergrass gets to playing, I know what's happening. It's Teddy Pendergrass, Marcus shouted, finally snapping. Him too, MJ agreed. But see, and then you come downstairs just smiling and giggling. And then Mama come right behind you, and she, and together, y'all just a hing. The honk of the school bus saved Marcus from either a stroke or a murder charge. MJ grabbed his bag, waved a casual goodbye to Miss V, the housekeeper, and vanished. The silence that followed was heavy. Then, Angela turned. Marcus, she said. Yeah, babe, I've decided to trust you. Marcus nearly fell off his chair. You serious? I believe you did not sleep with this woman, and I'm gonna let it go. The relief was so sudden, Marcus felt lightheaded. He stood up, ready to embrace his wife, ready to move past the charred remains of his wardrobe. Thank you. Do you know how long I've been waiting to hear you say that? If I didn't have to go to work, I would go up those stairs and I'd soundproof the room. 3 times, Angela whispered. Oh, that's how we made MJ, Marcus grinned. But as Marcus headed for the door, he didn't see the look in Angela's eyes. It wasn't a look of forgiveness. It was the look of a CIA operative about to go deep undercover. Trust, but verify, Angela whispered to herself as the door clicked shut. I need that Sabrina Murphy's address. We're going to verify. Chapter 2. The Expansion and the Ghost of College Past. The Lady Andy Salon was a sanctuary of hairspray, gossip, and now a significant amount of drywall dust. Angela stood in the center of the chaos, her arms crossed, watching the contractors like a hawk. Her best friend Leslie was there, clutching a clipboard. It's not looking too good, but I can take care of it, Leslie said, nodding toward the construction. She's ready to start at any time. Great. Then, he walked in. Tariq was a man who looked like he had been sculpted out of mahogany and confidence. He was the lead contractor, and he was also a walking, talking mistake from Angela's sophomore year of college. Leslie, is she gonna be here every day? Tariq asked, pointing at Angela. Unfortunately, yes, Leslie sighed. Okay, so Angela's just not gonna talk to me? Is she gonna talk through you? Tariq smirked. Come on, Leslie. Tariq, she just wants the job done, okay? Just do a good job. No offense. Angela pointedly ignored him, focusing on a patch of peeling wallpaper. I understand that, Tariq said to Leslie, loud enough for the whole room to hear. That was 14 years ago we had that one-night stand. I can't believe she doesn't even remember me. Jennifer, the salon's most vocal and thirstiest stylist, practically tripped over her own feet to get closer. Angela finally turned. Look, just let it go, okay? Do a good job, and I'm sure she'll talk to you at some point. Tariq, she is a happily married woman. I understand that. I'll keep it professional, Tariq said, though his eyes suggested he was thinking about something decidedly unprofessional from the year 2009. Once Tariq retreated behind the plastic sheeting, Jennifer turned to Angela. Honey, that is the kind of man you make a fool of yourself for. How do you not remember him? Your mother would have been too special. She remembers, Leslie whispered. She called me and said she did remember. But Jennifer, you can't say anything. She's happy with Marcus. Not lately, Jennifer countered. That whole mess with Sabrina Murphy. You know the claim is she's got a kid with him, burning up his car? That's not issues, Leslie. That's World War III. Angela walked over, her face set. I got the number. I got the address to Sabrina Murphy. I'm going to her house, and I'm gonna find out what the truth really is. I knew it, Jennifer shouted, looking for her keys. I'm going to get the Vaseline, because this is going to be some taking back to the... I don't know. Nobody's fighting, Angela yelled. You don't know, Angela, Jennifer laughed. It starts off as Martin Luther King peaceful, but it always turns into Malcolm X by any means necessary. I'm with Malcolm. Let's go. Chapter 3. The Poodle and the Letter. At the C Sports Now studio, Marcus Williams was trying to be a professional. He was a 6'4" former athlete. A man of gravitas. However, that gravitas was currently being undermined by the fact that his business partner, Richard, was walking a miniature poodle named Fifi around the set. "See you next time on C Sports Now," Marcus shouted at the camera. "See ya, and we're clear," the floor manager yelled. Marcus turned to Richard. "I was watching the monitor," Keisha, Richard's girlfriend and Marcus's ex, interrupted. She was wearing